Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Anthony Trapani. We're back again, episode 4, Cali Death Podcast. Got my resident homies, Casey, Joseph, and Joel. Joel joined recently because he, what's that?
Oh, what?
No. Sorry, I was going to say Joel recently joined. He's on probation. This is some community service for him, so putting in his hours. And we got Diego Sanchez on with us this week from the mighty Disgorge.
Yeah, what up, party people?
Yeah, so what we've been trying to do with this thing is to kind of like, we know our scene. We want everybody else to know our scene. We know where it started. You know, we tried to get like all the core bands together in the beginning, and you know, maybe we didn't do it chronologically, but we still got them all in here, you know, and now this is rounded off for like the big 4 of Cali Death, you know, right. And so that's really cool. We're not really going chronologically with this thing. It was kind of like, you know, everybody's schedule, you know, how are we going to make it work? And we got it to work. This is so sick. We're on episode 4 now. We got Diego with us, motherfucking Diego, the wizard.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is going great. Yeah, West Side for life.
Whiz side.
Whiz side.
Whiz side.
From the
Rift
side.
Wizard.
I did. So we're going to be jumping around.
Hey, so Deeds was last, right?
Deeds was actually the first one.
Oh, the first one.
Episode 1, yeah, was Deeds. And then second was Decrepit. And then third, Severed. And now, boom, Diego, Disgorge, Violently Vomit.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Savior and Disgorge is like after, so we're chronologically still. We're chronologically still.
Chronologically, I don't know, dude. I mean,
there you go, man.
The Disgorge demo was 92, the first one, right?
Yeah.
What was Deeds doing in 92?
Oh man, I don't know. They were
that Wild Rags demo was 94, bro.
Yep.
You know, Gradually Melted was 94, but it still doesn't. I mean, let's not say who started. I'm just saying, like,
no.
First demo, 92.
NorCal,
and it already had that Cali Death sound, dude. So it's
And then once everybody became bros, then it's like our sounds molded.
Kind of did, right?
And then Cali kind of had its own.
Well, I was noticing that for sure, dude.
Sick,
by listening, because that's what I've been doing, like to get ready for all these episodes. I've been listening to, you know, what we're gonna be doing that week, you know. So how to run, had a Decrepit run. I've had enough Severed. I know it all. And now I'm going through all the Disgorge shit. I haven't had enough Severed. I'm just joking. That shit's great.
Man.
Going through the Disgorge shit, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, you know, it makes total sense how all this is going together now, because I listened to Deeds, then I listened to Disgorge, and then all of a sudden I got like Decrepit Birth, when they just turned it up like a few tempo, you know. It's like you can hear Disgorge and Deeds in Decrepit adding their own unique shit too, but like that's how it was. It was like, this is what we like, let's put it together, let's fucking and then all of a sudden it just becomes this like recipe that you're starting to add your own ingredients, and then boom, you got your own shit, you know.
Yeah, dude. And so, the difference of having people that get together like days a week with like as a whole band, as opposed to just individuals in a room shredding shit up. You know, I think, you know, Decrepit was kind of like, Derek was ahead of their time, you know, him and Matt, whatever those dudes were doing back in the day, and just, you know,
and the decrepitated,
you know, with a human coming in and killing it.
All right, so let's start it. Let's find a starting point, bro.
Like Hollywood Squares. What up, Oceanside Squares?
So, let's get a starting point, dude. Like, so you're in what, high school, middle school? When did you pick up a guitar?
Yeah, I was in high school.
High school.
I was 15 and a half years old, and my birthday is in July. And
sophomore, junior.
Yeah, like I graduated at 17, so.
Yeah, me too. What's your birthday?
76.
No, month.
Oh, July 2nd.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Cancer, baby. What? But the good kind.
Yeah, my wife's a Cancer. My wife's
Yeah.
a Cancer.
See, be soft, be
She's the eighth.
cool, be real.
All right. So 15 years old in high school. What made
Yeah.
you want to get that guitar?
Oh man, I wanted to play guitar since I was a little kid. My brother Joe Sanchez is 7 years older, and he's always like, I can remember being like young, dude, like 5, 6 years old. And my brother's getting like my mom's Tupperware, with fucking
Yeah.
chopsticks. Cause we were in Hawaii and shit, or pencils, and just playing on that until he got his own kit years later. So music's always been in my blood. My grandfather was in the San Diego Symphony,
Oh,
and
no shit.
yeah,
What
he's
do
a
you
violinist. And
No shit. Violin's like
so
one of my favorites, dude.
yeah, that's where all the
Fucking love violin. Yeah, dude.
yeah, dude. But I
Hell
didn't know
yeah.
until later. I was just a dude that played guitar because he always wanted to play guitar because his brother played drums. So next thing you know, he bought me my first guitar, and that's when I started working summer jobs, and I built up my amp from like Boss, just regular distortion pedals and EQ, and then metal zone, and then like a Randall half stack, then a Randall full stack, and then started working more. And next thing you
Were you
know,
jamming covers and stuff first, or what were you doing first?
yeah, that's how I learned. No
Yeah.
lessons, no nothing, dude. Just watching MTV and like
Just
going to my
watching
brother's
people's
band.
hands.
Yep, exactly. And then my brother's, my brother he's 7 years older, so he was already in his teens jamming.
So that's your first. Was that your first experience jamming with another person? Was with your brother?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Is this the Joe Sanchez that's in or was in
Strangulation?
Strangulation with you? Yeah.
Yeah, he was a vocalist in Strangulation, but we had a band called Malefic Plague, and I sang and played guitar. It was kind of like a grind death, kind of like early Napalm Death, early Carcass, like that kind of shit, but like with morbid cannibal flow. Before I discovered Suffocation, and then that's when my world went you could be dark and groovy and brutal and still groovy, you know what I mean? And Morbid Angel also, like all those molding bands, and just built up my gear summer by summer, and next thing you know, I got good enough to play in his band, and then we ended up kicking out the guitar player, and then I was the main writer because we wanted to be more brutal. And then, because it was kind of thrashy.
What style was it before you wanted to be more brutal?
Well, like Sepultura, Sacred Reich, DRI, like Dark Angel, and just Slayer, of course. Slayer, Exodus, Violence, Forbidden. And yeah, dude, next thing you know, I met this dude named Jeff. We called him Satan Jeff from high school because it's a white dude that dyed his hair, and he was like a wig. He was, a witch or a Wiccan, or what's the male version?
Stump me, dude.
Not a wizard like me.
Warlock.
Yeah, like a warlock or something, dude. For real. But he was all into black metal, dude, and he opened my mind to.
Yeah.
Like, I just got experience from my brother, from like other people that was like when Altars of Madness had just come out, and Eaten Back to Life had just come out. And Travis, because we used to jam in Strangulation back in high school, so he was always like, oh, next thing you know, Benediction and Tomb. Like, he took me to my first death metal show.
Which Travis is this for the fans?
Travis Ryan from Cali Decapitation. He played drums for Strangulation back in.
Did you meet him in high school? Where did you meet him?
Middle school, dude, 7th grade.
Middle school. Wow.
Yeah, I was in 7th, he was in 8th. And
wow.
Next thing you know, we never talked about music, I don't think, back then. And then in high school, it was like, fucking, what? You're playing guitar? What? Dude, I'm fucking drums. What bands are you into? Boom. And the next thing you know, Travis was jamming with Ben and some other dudes from a different school at Escondido. So Ben would get out of school and come and pick us up and go and jam. And Travis asked me for like a year and a half to join his band because he wanted to make it more brutal because, I told him I was playing grind and what bands I compared myself to. And they were still kind of playing like thrashy, Slayer, Death. Death is dope, but it's, a little different fucking than brutal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And finally I got the confidence to be like, all right, you know what? Instead of my 3-piece band where we were, I already had like 4 or 5 songs in the arsenal to go and, represent to these guys. And everybody's all stern and who's this skater guy? Because I was sponsored by a couple of shops back in the day, so I was just a skate rat showing up to these Hessian metalhead dudes. And I go in there, dude, and I start fucking jamming. I'm all, and fucking Ben, like, he's all, like what is this, And the other dudes are kind of, what, it's like, because I had whole songs, I showed up with like 4 or 5 tunes, man, and I was like, all right, I got material. And because I already knew Travis.
And I'm sorry, how old are you?
I was like,
are you at this time?
Dude, I was like a sophomore in high school. I was 16.
Sorry, it's saying my
15. I was like 15.
Connection's fucked up.
Yeah, I was like 15, 16 years old.
Nice, man. So what's up? When did
Am
you
I
actually?
Good,
You didn't.
Sorry.
Oh, you're a little hazy,
Nostalgic.
All right, sorry.
He's hazy. I'm
just
nostalgic.
Distracted for a second.
Oh yeah, if you're looking down, you're looking at Anthony. If you're looking up, you're looking at me. You're like the Brady Bunch right now. That way we know who we're talking to.
See, to me, I'm up top. You're at the bottom. Casey's on. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it gets
all right. So how long was Strangulation going before?
What from?
Did you go straight? Did you go straight into Disgorge from Strangulation?
No, man. Yeah, technically, but when Disgorge had their first break back in '96, I had joined the band like a couple months before that, and Derek was the one showing me the material. And then the band split up for personal reasons, and I had already known, like, I think I learned like 9 songs or something at that time, like just after the demo had gotten recorded, and the third demo. And then Ricky came back to San Diego. I saw him at some different kind of show, like Incubus, Deftones, like in that early era. And he's like, dude, I'm back. I'm not playing nothing. And I was like, well, let's do Strangulation, because I was still, bros with Ben and my brother, and I didn't hang out with Maddie because they lived like 40 miles away down by the beach, and I'm more inland by the mountains. And but I was down south at the show, of course, trying to chase that thing. And and next thing you know, man, fucking Ricky came and he jammed, and like that's just when the internet was starting to surf out, as opposed to trading tapes, because that's how Disgorge and Deeds kind of blew up, was Deeds was
yeah.
out.
I mean, 90, that's 4 years, right? So
yeah, dude, that's like
92. They were trading tapes for sure.
Yeah, big time, man. And so next thing you know, he comes and he starts learning Strangulation songs. But Ricky, he played guitar for years before he played the drums. So when he's playing the drums, he's actually a guitar player playing the drums. And that's why him and I click, because I'm the opposite. I'm a drummer, like a percussionist on my head. I don't play the guitar when I'm playing the guitar. I'm actually playing the drums when I'm playing the guitar, if that makes sense to us multi-musicians,
It's percussive in your dome.
Yeah, and Maddie was in San Diego still, and then my brother was getting married. He was the vocalist for Strangulation. So he got married, and he was going to have a kid and all this. So we were like, you know what? Fucking Ricky said there was a big buzz that was going around from Deeds, spreading the word about Disgorge from when the Gray demo came out. And next thing you know, the name was already so big, dude. So it's like, I just joined Disgorge before they had broken up, so now it's my opportunity to come back. And Tony and Eric were done, so I could bring on Ben, because Ben was dope, and we wrote together for years, and he was a big Disgorge fan too. And we would play shows, Strangulation and Disgorge, amongst a lot of other bands in the scene and the local scene. And we're already bros and friends, and we admired each other's music and stage presences and stuff. And we watched each other evolve. Like Disgorge they already had their thing. Disgorge, no matter what, has always had its sound. So if you can, you're not duplicating a sound. You just need to come out just as powerful and relentless and dark. There's like a dark groove.
Definitely evil.
Yeah, as opposed to just fucking like there's no melody or, even if it's rocking, it's rocking to us, and other people are like, no way, man, that sounds fucking sick. We're like, I don't know, man, it's like a radio song right there,
So you and Ben got together and picked up from the first demo and decided you guys were the ones who started writing the material from that point forward and just kind of took the feel of that demo and worked it into your own shit?
Yeah, this is after the 96 demo. There's the 95 demo, which was the gray demo, and then 96 actually that got released through Extremities first, and then Unique Leader had it after that.
Yeah.
And so I don't even, that's just a self, I don't even know. There was never any titles besides what Cognitive, I think, was the first one. And so like I said, man, Derek showed me the tunes. I got together a band. I showed him the tunes because we lived in the same town and we still kicked it. And next thing you know, man, fucking Ricky was like, Maddie's still in town. Your brother's on his way out with the family and a secure job. How is he gonna tour? And boom, dude, we clicked because Ricky and I had already clicked. You know, when I play it with Disgorge and I go to band practice, it's so much different playing to a tape than it is going into the live rehearsal.
Yep.
And jamming with him because you never know. Like after playing with Ricky for so many years, I know how he warms up. Back then, I was already, to the tape, and it's like there's different flows and grooves, and whether it's faster that night or slower that night, or the sound. You're just
the
like,
moment. It's in the moment.
So different, So when all of a sudden it was kind of satisfying because I was always kind of chasing certain parts back then, and then when we came back and we reformed, I had already had the feeling and the flow, and Disgorge helped me evolve as a guitar player because I had already done down picking. Like if you listen to the Legion, all that shit's just fucking Ashim fucking down picking, just shredding with the brothers, and Glenn and fucking killing it. And so I did a lot of down picking back then, and then when I joined Disgorge, I had to learn alternate picking. So Matty loaned me his Baby Taylor acoustic guitar because it's a lot smaller. So instead of your arm being out like this playing acoustic, you're trying to do some shit, it's like it's kind of more comfortable, and the neck is smaller, the guitar is smaller. So I got a metronome and an acoustic guitar, bro, and I learned how to play Disgorge by playing rewind and tape on a tape player when I was working graveyard at a gas station.
Crazy.
Yeah. Disgorge never played to a click, right? You've never done it's always kind of free form, right? I mean, not with the timing, right?
If we did click, it'd be Ed and I at the computer on Guitar Pro.
Yeah.
Programming our own click.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's never just fucking like you can try and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, that ain't working out.
Yeah.
But from having live rehearsal recordings in the band room, like just one mic, so that way you can hear the band as a whole. Take it home, put it in your computer, or Ed would take it home, put it in his computer, fucking, and the next thing you know, I'd go to his pad and we'd sit there and play to it, and we'd map out, okay, this is where the flow changes.
Yeah.
This is where the tail off is. This is where the beginning is. This is this kind of drum beat, that, this drum beat, that drum beat, they're all at faster tempos. And with Disgorge, we have our like signature beats, which is either just more powerful or, flowing and grooving, which is sick because our Cannibal beat is our double bass blast. And then our Suffo beat is the Suffo beat, obviously, the offset. And then our Morbid is like the groovy, We have our MO fucking, so it's like, it's so sick, dude. We all know, like when you're just like I said, we just free jam, and we wait for something to click, and then we're like, okay, that's the fucking one right there, and then we just, okay, that's what we're playing over.
Do you guys have a tape recorder in the
No, with Disgorge, we never really had a tape recorder. I did for Strangulation and myself, but Disgorge, Ricky and I would just remember what we were doing. And then when Ed joined the band, because he's like a recording engineer and, badass live sound guy and whatever you need, sound light, so when he joined, he's like, dude, what are you guys doing? Just set up a microphone and then you can hear what you're doing later. And we're like, what? So I got some killer stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I got some killer tunes, man, where it's just like a raw practice, like a lot of parallel stuff.
Anytime I've played it brick by brick, he was doing sound. Did he do sound at Showcase at some point too? I thought he was anywhere. I did.
For other bands maybe, but he didn't have a regular gig there. I know at Brick, he had a regular gig.
I think I'm pretty sure he did do the sound for any time I came through there at least, but I guess that's obvious that he would do it for us, because Cali death, bro.
Oh, dude, for sure. When their bros coming through, and especially if he gets hit up.
Yeah.
So
Ed's full of love, dude. It's fucking rad. And he wants his bros to sound good. And for him, it's for him, dude, because he's so rad. It's like he goes to a venue and he's all, I could be making this room like I could be making this room sick. You know, like he's one of those sound guys that comes up to the microphone. And you hear
he's like the sonar bat. He's all
2.5. Can you turn down 2.3? Yeah, turn down this frequency. You know, fucking. Ooh, he's like, no, this one. So
you guys are set up for a wall that's 30 feet away. That one's only 23 feet away.
Yeah, dude, that guy, he's just sick, man. He's, he went to school forever, dude. So it's like when he joined the band, we learned about pre-production and having a second guitar player. Because if we did, they didn't last very long, and he just like rhythm structure. Like I always just played to what I felt. I never knew what a bar was, what a measure was, like
10, 11, 10,
4, 4.
10, 11, 10 shit.
Yeah, that was a third album. So I'd be writing, I'd show him because Ben and I'd say, okay, this is 5, and then 7, and then 9, and then by how many notes you're hitting, and eventually it ends up at like 24, 36, or whatever, 55, whatever random number there is. And
yeah, dude.
When I was showing
I figured that out on my own. I was like, oh, dude, you could totally just you just got to know increments, dude, of 3 or 4, and you'll eventually find the ones that match, and then it will work if you just stay focused.
No idea, dude. No idea. It was always flow before. Like I'm thinking back, and I don't even know how Travis and I used to write the songs. Like how do we remember all the changes and the flows besides for being one of those bands that practice 5 nights a week?
Yeah.
Like for years, bro, we played 5 nights a week, and then there'd be a year and a half off, or from member changes, or whatever, dude. There's always like you reach your pinnacle, and then boom, assed out, and then boom, come back, raw, fucking fire, what, and then boom. So it's like there's so many times where that dedication, because we go on the road. What? 5 nights a week? Oh, you're so lucky. And we never knew, because that was what we had always done. Disgorge before me and Strangulation before Disgorge, like both bands had always had that discipline of, we're in a band, let's get together and fucking kill it. And
that's
luckily
come up
we're
before,
all,
yeah. With Deeds, they said that they would rehearse 6 fucking days a week. Decrepit, I know when Casey was in the band, you guys were rehearsing in person almost every day. And
the most Odious could get was twice, because Dan and I were up in the city, and Casey at certain times were up in the city too.
Yeah.
And for us to get down to Santa Cruz and back up, like twice was maximum for us.
Yeah.
So we had to make it work. Like I'd literally be driving back at like 2, 3 in the morning, having to work at 7 a.m. or 7:30 the next day.
Yeah,
but you gotta fucking grind, dude.
Dude,
I got pulled over by the same cop twice in 1 week going down to Santa Cruz, and he gave me a warning both times, dude.
Yeah. Oh, wait, man. Dude,
so Diego,
yeah.
Oh, can I ask you, what were the first songs that you brought to Disgorge that are your own material? I think you told me before that you wrote Exhuming the Disemboweled from the Sheila Gutted album, had it ready to go when you joined the band. Did you have other songs?
That was actually the last Strangulation song that I wrote, and that one never had a drummer. I wrote that song just all guitar, and I brought it to Rick, and we were like, all right, because I brought a lot of Strangulation songs, like rhythms, like Sheila Gutted was a Strangulation song that we just took and rearranged the lyrics a little bit, and Compost Environments used to be a Strangulation song. And like lyrically, the music Compost, that was actually the first song that I wrote with Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
And we wrote that song in like, I don't know, like fucking 20 minutes or something like that. Because I got in a car accident. My buddy rolled his truck out in the desert, and these 2 fingers on my picking hand. So luckily I could still hold the pick, and that was when Rick and I were first jamming, trying to write material. And we were like halfway through it, and all of a sudden, man, I was like, Like a finger got in an accident, came back, and we'd play like little increments.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was crazy. That's why it's only a 2-minute song. We just said, you know what? Let's just get something, you and I, fresh, as opposed, because we played Disgorge songs to try to bring Disgorge flavor, and I cut and paste the strangulation songs, which there's a lot of different rhythms in there.
This is time to raise one of the questions from fucking Lily asks, Lily from Defeated Sanity. What's up, dude?
Yeah, what up, Lily?
He says, how did you do such an amazing job at picking up where Tony Friedhofer left off and made Disgorge even better?
Yeah, I think just from being friends, man, being friends in the scene and seeing each other play live. And like I said earlier, when I was learning how to play guitar for Disgorge with a metronome and an acoustic, I had to change my style. So the rhythms I had in my head, I wasn't able to play yet. I didn't evolve as a guitarist to play those. And then when I learned Disgorge material with all the alternate picking and the weird little flows and tweaks and nuances in there, and the brutal consistency, that's like a metronome in itself, because it's just fucking just going the whole time.
Just straight 16th notes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just going. And when Ricky was playing his drums, he's putting all he has into it. There's barely a part if he's like, okay, I got a kickback part. And if it is, it's like 3 seconds, and then here we go, So it's like, it's just, I don't know, man. It comes easy, I think, from my grandfather's blood, being the classical violinist, so this hand has it. And I've got a lot of different cousins that are drummers, along with my brother being a drummer. But it's just in my blood, so I had the stuff in my head before I could play it, and then I learned how to play Disgorge songs, and next thing you know, I myself evolved as a guitar player, because now I'm doing alternate picking as opposed to down picking, being all thrash. It's like, okay, now we're death metal, and we're getting, we're doing some alternate type of stuff, and then Suffocation came in, and it's like, dude, I can't down pick that fast. I'm not Cerrito or Hobbs, or Charlie. Fucking what?
Well, yeah, it's like that. That's like the guitarist version of what you guys were talking about in earlier episodes about doubles and stuff like that for a drummer's feet. In order to speed up, you guys had to figure out alternate ways to play the pedals. Well, alternate picking, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you line up. Right foot's a downstroke. Left foot's
get faster.
Sometimes
that's what drives metal, really, and it's just speed.
And what you can squeeze in there. What's mechanically possible. Now you got all these doubles and people just knowing them. It's been around forever, but next thing you know, somebody picked it up, man, and you use it in the right place, and it's.
I'm just having that same progression right now where I did the down picking, like, because I have this twitch where I could do the down pick super fast.
Yeah.
And then,
is that a caveman twitch or just regular twitch?
No, it's not. This is the caveman. Or no, this is the what is it? The Jedi grind?
That's a
the Mike Gilbert.
The Jedi grind.
Yeah, but it was one of those things. Just the down picking was this natural twitch I had, and I taught myself so many things like that. And I actually brought it to a guitar teacher a long time ago, and was like, dude, I can't get out of this. He's like, dude, I wish I could do that. And then it made me even not want to change even more. So as I progressed, so many years finally where I'm like, I got to sit down and relearn these things, alternate picking, because, it makes it so much easier, and you can do so much more, and you can still incorporate the down pick if you want to do that. It's still a weapon that you have. Yeah. But the alternate picking allows you to access even more that that you would never be able to do down picking.
Yeah, dude, I kept it, I incorporated it still when I could.
Yeah.
And then when I heard about Cerrito going out with his Swellbo, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, no, and then years later, and then I totally wrote it off, because I seen them live, dude. I seen him. I don't know how Terrence is still just killing it. He's just like, he's meant for it, dude. There ain't no other that.
He's got to have some sort of wrist issues by now. I watched that guy's right hand. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
He plays it off if he does, man.
I know, dude. I'm expecting to see one of these days with a brace or something.
Yeah.
But no,
it's not. Tennis elbow isn't only for tennis players. You know what I mean? And so all that down pick, and I just was like, you know what? It's not worth it. So I just started alternate picking everything.
Yep.
But there is a difference in the sound, of course.
There is,
but
especially with the heavy stuff when you're chunking
oh,
fast.
dude, that
The down
punch,
pick has that. Yeah,
it's like you
punches
lose the punch, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, all right, but you know, you got just luckily Disgorge has a lot of other variances other than
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
I feel like the Disgorge songs are written to have that like they're written about or around what's physically possible, because like the slow part comes in right when it would be impossible to keep going fast, and then as soon as you're relaxed a little bit, it goes back to it, and it's just like it's like a map of what's physically possible.
Oh,
when
for
you
sure.
when you play it.
Yeah, well, and that is like because we map it out by energy. Disgorge is just Disgorge is just an energetic band. Like I was a fan of Disgorge before I joined the band. You know, so I got to see the evolution between the different demos, and then when they moved to San Diego, and all of a sudden for some reason they always had a good show, and they always had their own sound, and playing along with them. Luckily, you know, we were a different style, so it was still sick, but you know, Ricky would be sitting on a fucking milk crate, dude, or like a 5-gallon bucket back there, and his legs would be up here, and you know, but it'd be like, you know, just killing it, dude, just huge in the house, man. And finally, when I was able to become a part of it, and you know, it was just like, fucking, here we go, bro.
Do you remember your first live show with Disgorge?
You know what? I do not.
What about your first tour? Like, when did you first go out with those guys?
The Bloodletting tour was we did a week tour going out to Ohio Death Fest, and like we out to Texas or something, or NorCal. But our first tour was for Chile Gutted. That was when we got signed to First Aerobus Records with Unique Leader. They changed the name to Unique Leader, and then Eric and Jacoby hooked it up after that.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I was gonna go with that. Like,
yeah,
so
the
from
scene
the
blew
cranial,
up after that.
Yeah, dude. So Chile Gutted, like, that was. I'm sorry if I missed that in what you were saying earlier, but with the cranial impalement stuff, how much? Only half of that was you, right?
No, none of Cranial was me.
None of it. Okay, sorry.
Cranial is 2 demos.
So Chile Gutted was the
95
first
and 96 demo.
Disgorge release with Diego guitar on.
Yeah, Chile Gutted was 99.
Okay, that's my fault for not knowing that.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but
no,
yeah,
I joined the band in 96 just after they recorded.
I noticed a big upgrade when that album came out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, it's just different flows, because it's you know, it was kind of mathematical in a sense before. You know, Tony they did like not kind of Hellstar type. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hellstar, the thrash band, but it's not Hellstar. It's just you know, just it's not your typical thrash. It's more just fucking, I don't know. If you look at the band Hellstar, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Right.
props to those guys.
Never heard of them.
But
yeah, I'm gonna check them out. I really am gonna check them out after this.
Yeah, and the next thing you know, Brian and Gashea from him and Ricky had their own, you know, deal before they came down to San Diego, and it's just, I don't know, it's just Disgorge's sound has just always evolved, and I'm very lucky to be a part of it. Because, like I said, I'm always not because it's, you know, not my band, but my. So,
what was the writing process for Chile Gutted all about?
I already had Strangulations. I already had a whole Strangulation song album written. So when we needed material, because I had already learned the demo songs, we basically cut and paste a lot of Strangulation stuff, and then Ricky and I found our flow. And we just clicked after that, man. And then that's when we started getting exposed and playing shows together with Deeds, you know, and Vile, and like a lot of like California bands. And you do, you know, just like skating, man. Whenever you're around people that are better than you, or have more clout, or, you know, they're just more evolved, or, you know. And I'm younger than these guys are already as it is. And when you're just around people that are, you know, better or even more evolved than you, you learn off of them, whether you know it or not.
Yeah,
here's to that, dude. I mean, that's kind of, we already touched on that a few times, and I'm sure we're going to touch on it again, because so many people have that similar thing. You end up becoming part of a collective, you know, and you're watching everybody in this collective, and you're like, I don't want to be left behind. I want to be at least on par or ahead of everybody else in my collective. That's what it is.
That's what consume the
and that becomes a cycle where everybody sees that, and then they're seeing you want to get ahead of them, and they're like, wait, no, I got to get ahead of you.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's
in a friendly way, and it
once you get involved in this scene and you're all do click like that, dude, and you start noticing, you know, you're like, you do like, and I never had that. I'm not a competitive type of guy.
No, when I say that, I'm not saying it like, oh, I want to be better than everybody else. I'm just saying, like, everybody wants to be like,
no, dude, no, you're not
moving in the same direction and moving at the same speed, you know?
Yeah, we're not Bruce Jenner over here, dude. We're good.
There's that kid that picks
that guy's awesome. That lady, that woman, you know, they're both fucking amazing people, by the way.
It's then like, it's like the 12-year-old kids just like pick up guitars, like they'll pick up the guitar and be like, oh, my first band I listened to is Disgorge, and they start with Disgorge. And then they take it, you know. They're
so lucky, you know. Not because this score is sick, you know, but just that's what it evolved to. Just like you know, because you guys, because you're younger than me, but you guys, you guys were like kids, dude. And next thing you know, Disgorge was already, you know, like metal was not what it was back then. It wasn't as accepted then. It was way more underground than it is now, and it wasn't as accessible.
Yeah, you had to stumble across it, or you had to stumble across somebody who already was exposed to it.
It was by mail and reference. It was word of mouth. It wasn't through a computer where you could just click on it and it's in your fingertips. It was like.
So is it true, like in the early '90s? Because I always, you know, my brother was super into death metal, like the early '90s, late '80s when it was starting, and he was saying some of the shows back, like Morbid Angel shows and stuff back in the day, where there was a ton of people that came out, like in the '93, '94, like he said it was like popular for a little while.
Dude,
is that
packed house.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. And then it kind of like went away for a little while and kind of came back in like the 2000s.
Because the promotion, in order to have, like I said, it wasn't as easily accessible or easy to put out there. So you had to pay like record. Really, there was record. We found out about Morbid Angel and Napalm Death from Camelot Records, dude. I don't know if it's San Diego or LA or whatever it was. And they had a commercial. Next thing you know, Harmony Corruption video clips of it with the cross, you know, and then next thing you know, fucking it goes, oh, bless her the signal, you know, and we're like, what? So what do we do? Boom, brother, fucking, you know, he was older, so we found some friends and they drove to Camelot Records, dude, and bought that, and then they saw, based off the record label and the artwork, they came home with Carcass and dude, like Benediction or something like that, you know? And
yeah, dude. I mean, artwork is like it's the real deal. Like,
so
many albums that I bought back when I was like 15, 16, 17 years old was just all about the cover and the fucking song names, and the record label.
And the record.
Once you become you know, accustomed to a record label, then that is a pusher too.
Oh, for sure.
Know?
JL America, dude. They had
Relapse would fucking
deteriorate.
Relapse had me by the nuts, dude. They still have me by the nuts, dude.
Oh yeah, they're still killing it, dude. They're still killing it. I remember when they signed Symbolic Carnage, I was like, what? My boys fucking made it, you know, and then we go on there. Oh shit, we still gotta struggle. God damn, death metals, you know. Fucking, you're doing, rock stardom, dude. It takes decades to earn if you're lucky.
Chasing that carrot, always chasing that carrot.
We thought Sheila Gutted signed. We got a record label. We got a signing bonus. We got
you get a quick.
We're going on tour. You invest in merch, all your credit cards, everything, you know. You're just kids, dude. And you make like $50 a night. And you're like, oh yeah, and then you know. But by the time you give away shirts to your friends,
we all needed those experiences to tell us, like, yo, it's all about the art. It's not about the money. It's about the art and the passion and doing it with your homies. That's what it all was. It's like reality check, real quick. You guys aren't gonna make any money at this. If you have fun doing this, just keep doing it this way. you know?
There's that little birdie going like, you could though. I mean, look at Cannibal Corpse. I mean, there's a chance you could make it, dude. You know, look at Black Dahlia Murder. I mean, they're making, you know, and then you talk to them and they're like, kind of, you know, we're kind of making, and you're like, you're at the top. Shit.
Yeah, dude, San Diego has waves of when there's good shows to where everybody comes out, and then for some reason it's like the dopest, you know, venue and bill ever, and then where are the people? You know, oh well, you can go snowboarding an hour away. The beach is 15 minutes away. You know, it's like everything's so close, and for some reason you're just like, dude, this is, you know. But back in the day, fuck yeah, dude, throughout, you know, San Diego was on the map, dude, for all the bands coming through, and then.
Yeah, played multiple times there, dude. I had so many cool shows, dude. Cali shows for us were always very fun, you know. But San Diego is definitely a big part of that, dude. Down SoCal, any SoCal shows have always been fun to us, you know.
Yeah,
I love it down there.
It's interesting for me that it's San Diego and not just LA. Like LA is the epicenter of all other music, but in terms of death metal, it's San Diego. It was you guys for a lot of that. So,
and like I said, man, I remember like Strangulation played the same shows, and we had a lot of, because we're North County, and Disgorge was like downtown with the beach, and you know, surrounding the downtown area, and it was always the metalhead and getting to know people in the scene years later, people that you had seen in the pit or, you know, like just at the shows, from Disgorge finally reaching the clout it did and getting to know the people personally, you know, like when Grave Rock Production was booking shows, Mike and Shish were just that side of San Diego, East County. You know, everybody
was there one venue that
was
you guys
Ed's Hood, you know?
At?
What was that?
Was there one venue that you guys would always coalesce at? Like,
well, no,
like
well,
the
back in the day,
in San Francisco.
Yeah, but Soma, San Diego. That's where Travis and I. That was Travis was a maniac, dude. He'd be trying to get signed by a metal band when he was like in middle school, barely learning how to play, you know? So he was way more into the scene than I am. But he took me to my first, it was Entombed, Dead Horse, Ex-Hoarder, and fucking somebody else, dude. And
Ex-Hoarder.
And that was our like Entombed, you know, just before Left Hand Path. That was, or I don't know, around that tour maybe. And, you know, being right there, it was like the parking lot was a chain link fence. So Alex came out from Entombed and signed our ticket. And then later on, Cannibal, Morbid, DSI, like all the heavy hitters came through. So we got, like, once we got exposed to death metal, because we were just kids, it just blew up, dude. And the scene was just huge. And you know, you think about it being in high school, going to see these shows, and it blows your mind. Like, what?
Totally, dude. I mean, mine at the Pound was Morbid Deicide. So boom, boom. Morbid Deicide was my first show at the Pound.
Yeah,
dude. I was
15 saw that
years old. I was 15 years old, dude.
And you would never get those guys to play together back in those days.
Yeah.
It wasn't beef, but you would never get those guys to play together.
No. Not only that, it was like all heavy hitters. I mean, not as heavy as Morbid and fucking, who did I just mention? Deicide. It was also Soylent Green and the guitar player from Testament's symphonic black metal band called Dragon Lord.
Oh yeah,
they opened, and then it was Soylent Green, Dragon Lord, Deicide, Morbid. That was how it went that night. And I was just fucking middle of the fucking Pound, you know, 250 maximum capacity.
Yeah,
just getting my fucking head and face ripped off, you know.
Yeah,
my life was forever changed.
The Pound was like the first Brick by Brick. It definitely had its own element, you know.
Yeah, dude.
Dark and full, and the sound was just thick and
good, dude.
Just hitting.
Yeah. No matter where you're at in that place, you would fucking definitely feel everything that was going on, dude.
Yep, yeah, exactly.
Well, my second death metal show was actually Disgorge. I was 17, I think, and that was the bloodletting one, you know, with Carnage, you guys, and then Deeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was like, and I think David and I and some other friends went. You know, of course, we were still in high school and stuff, and man, we were just blown away by Disgorge. Like, you guys were so good. It was so sick. I remember that, man. I bought the.
Was that your first time ever hearing Disgorge? Was that your first time ever? You know what?
I can't remember. That's a good question, dude. I can't remember. I'm not sure. It might have been, dude. I mean, I know for sure that night I bought the Chile Gutted shirt.
I've said it every time on the show, but that is such the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally. Yeah. Just seen it first, and I think I got a deep sweatshirt too or something.
I have my Chile Gutted shirt upstairs right now. I should have put it on.
I used to wear it to high school. You know, it was like, oh my God.
Dude, but, and the ink on that shirt is just 13 layers all.
I got one more thing to add to that. So like we jam.
Yeah, dude, it is. It feels thick and crunchy.
Oh yeah, all the ink. Yeah. At that time though, I used to jam in this band down at this rehearsal place in San Diego. It was like the first band I was kind of playing that kind of style, you know, and we were like playing one day, and I think David was with us or someone, and he like comes back, he's like, dude, Disgorge is practicing like down the hall, you know, and we had just seen you guys like, I don't know, like I don't know how long, like a month before that. We're like, what? They practice here? Like, what the fuck? Like, we had no idea. And then like we just like cruised over, and then we like knocked on your door or something, and you guys were like, oh, what up? We're like, dude, we saw you guys at Bloodletting. We love you guys, like, and you're all cruising, dude. Yeah.
Casey had like fucking white blonde hair, dude, down to his elbow and shit. Like, fucking, what's up? I seen you in Corona. We're all, really? Oh, dude.
Yeah, and it was AJ had just, I don't know how long ago he had joined, but he was singing for you guys and stuff. And it was just like this, like, you know, like a small like practice room, and we just kind of crammed in there. We're just like I remember Joel talking about when you first saw Decrepit play in this like super tiny little room, and when they were playing to the backing tracks, you know, like all those other songs, and we were both watching, just going, whoa, it's crazy. It was like that, but I was only 17, and it was just like Disgorge just right in front of me with AJ, and we were just like,
dude,
whoa,
that room was
so
like
sick.
That room was like 8 by 10 or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So small.
And then you guys came and watched us play in my old little band, and we were like, and you guys were just all like, cool, dude. You know, like, you know.
Yeah, man. As long as you're kids and you're shredding and you're just, you know.
But it was rad though. We're like, dude, Disgorge just came in and watched, like all you guys came and watched us. Like it was like, we're like, we better like played faster, you know, like
It didn't matter the size of the place as long as everybody could stand up, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
totally, yeah.
Everybody's looking for a place to jam, you know? So it's just like if you could stand and nobody was too claustrophobic, then we'll fucking rock out that way, dude.
Yeah.
You're always like, especially when you're younger.
In your bedroom for a while, Casey.
When you're younger and you're a kid, like in one like a big band like practice room, you're just like super afraid of like stepping on anything. You're like, shit, I don't want to like unplug anything. Or like, like you're all stoned to a kid. You're like, fuck, I don't want to like so much. I don't know. I remember that was actually pretty cool. Like there would be people
to lift Casey's bed. We would have to go ahead, sorry. I mean,
oh no, it's all good. I think we're a little delayed because of your super sick internet.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, guys. If my internet's fucked up, I don't know.
Get some Ethernet, bro.
Yeah.
Support us on Patreon for Anthony's internet bill. We don't have a Patreon yet.
Just $5 a month.
Normally I'm the only one. Normally, I'm the only one using this internet tonight, and tonight I'm hogging.
He's like, normally I'm the only one.
Hey,
sharing.
Who's Naomi? Who's Naomi? Who's Naomi in the mini one?
He's like, I don't even. He just freezes.
I don't even.
It's like delayed.
No, but seriously.
All right, let's get back on track.
All right. Anyways,
I'm sorry though. I'm sorry if it kills the episode. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm really in. You guys hear me now?
Yep.
Is it good?
Yeah, you sound super.
Is it good?
Yeah.
You hear me now?
You got three bars.
Right. So, anyways, I just wanted to interject.
We were just talking about moving your.
It's almost like Charlie Brown's teacher. Hey, Joseph, you got any questions from either the Facebook or Instagram people?
Yes, I do. I got more questions for you, bro. Good call. All right, let me think. What's the best one to go in here? So, we've got some questions about touring. So maybe we should catch up, because honestly, the next questions that are like chronological kind of pick up on the later edge, and so like we need to get from like 2000 to 2006. So like we need to cover the Consume, the Forsaken era,
so,
and then the parallels of Infinite Torture era. And you've already talked about Ed joining the band, so that's
That sounds
Parallels era. So what's in the Consume era? So that's you, Ben. You guys get
So,
AJ.
Yeah, when did Ed join it exactly?
Oh no, that's later, dude. We need
That's
to
later.
get
Hey, bro.
get to that.
Do your Disgorge research before you do the interview.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry.
Just joking.
And then
No,
I was like, oh, when is it?
So Travis and I went to middle school together, and then we went to high school together, and then we started jamming together, and then he started jamming with dudes from another school. Ben, Travis, and I started jamming together, and then Strangulation broke up, and then because we always needed a drummer, so all of a sudden Ricky came back. Strangulation, Disgorge had a bigger name. The other members were like on their way out, so we got Maddie in the band. We were all in San Diego. We were all friends. And next thing you know, Chile Gutta comes out, and I have Strangulation album, already written. Cut and paste that, a lot of different songs and a lot of lyrics. And we do a couple tours, which were really tough, dude. Because like I said, we were 1999, and I was 25 years. No, wait, 76, 99, 23 years old. And Ben and I and others, we were all coming out of credit card trying to pay for stuff and getting paid like 50, 75, 150 a night, traveling the country. And the way they set up the tour was like going Arkansas to Texas, back to New Mexico, then to Louisiana, you're like, holy smokes, bro. And this is our first like US as opposed to just going out to play Ohio or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard, dude. Then we did Brazil for a month. That was actually our first tour. I forgot about that one. How did I forget about that? And you come
You guys
home.
flew down to Brazil?
Yeah, Edu from Nervo Chaos. He took us out there, and you extremely well taken care of. The Deeds had already been out there, and that's how we got out there. And they opened for us. They provided the gear for us, and that guy drove, and his team. They had his guitar, Tomas, and dude, it was an amazing time. But the wear and tear and what you come across and going on tour on the road when it comes to financially or third world countries, it's just and how you gonna come back home and pay your bills.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that was how Maddie was on his way out when we came back, because going on the road back to back and having to pay for stuff, Maddie just, he likes to be on his shit, dude, and he's, it was just like, couldn't handle it. And
yeah, dude. I mean, I could see. I mean, you could see how that, depending on the person, what they're just figuring out their priorities at that time. You guys are only in your mid-20s.
Would you go on the road and you're not able to shower for like 3 days or 5, and you're like in a sink, and Maddie's like crazy clean, neat guy, dude. So it's like,
yeah, dude. I'm
the same way. If I do a European shower in the sink, like I wipe everything down and make sure I wasn't even there afterwards, So it was just like, it's the road's hard, man, and unless you've done it, you don't, and unless you've been in underground situations, it's tough, man, and it takes chemistry. Like a lot of people, it takes chemistry. And we came
you can
home.
be accustomed to that shit though too, dude. I've talked about it before. It's like the stink of men in a van for some reason is kind of like
you get all that funk in your nostrils, dude.
It's like welcoming when you're on the road for like 2 weeks. You're like, oh yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is like,
if you got clean sanitary roommates, maybe not hanging their socks or chones on your.
I was in a van with Joel. There was no sanitation. I watched Dan. Every day. I watched Dan. Sorry, Joel. Fucking hit a bird and just be like, "Oh, sick, dude." He doesn't give a fuck.
When did you start writing Consume? When did that take place? Well, after what tour did you come home and start writing Consume?
That was pretty much after the US tour, and then the European tour when AJ had joined. Because when we came home when we came back from tour, AJ had already learned like 4 songs, and Matt and Ricky and Ben were talking already about how Maddie, it was just super hard to tour.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, Ben and I had maxed out our credit cards, and we just made it work, and
Yep.
start writing new material. And I had gone through a breakup at that time, man, and so I think that's why Disgorge is like super pissed, hate as like a cliche or whatever, musicians in hard times or dark places, they write this kind of music, But at that point, Disgorge had blown up and we had already toured and our name was out there, so we had something to prove. And a lot of bands, just like Sufo with their fucking Breeding the Spawn, if that, like that's my first tattoo, was the Breeding the Spawn, on my leg. And it's so gnarly, dude, and the production's so rough, but your sophomore album, for some reason, that's the one where you come out trying to prove something. And when you make it with that one, then for me, in my perspective, in my experience, that's when you finally formulate yourself.
Yeah.
And then, like we had already had Parallels almost all the way written before we got Ed in the band. Mm-hmm. And it's just the evolution, man. Consume. We had already, we came back, and with AJ's choppiness, and Ricky was learning to do the offset blast beat as opposed to just a Sufo blast and the Cannibal or something. Now all of a sudden he was doing the offset, so we changed our rhythm structure, and I think that's when he added the bell like towards the end or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, and that was due to Brad, also from Inbreeding, the Prophet guy, the drummer Brad, because he did a left hand first Cannibal blast. So instead of coming in together, he'd come in with it, so it's like, what? And for some reason,
bomb blast style.
Yeah. And so for some reason with Rick, it was easier for him to come in, with his fucking snare first instead of his hi-hat first, or his, or his ride, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, you just evolve. We evolved as musicians, and our songs got longer, and we got criticized for Gutted songs being so short, and then Consume songs were in the middle, and then we were like, okay, Parallels, this is our third album. We ain't got shit to prove. This is just us. And, we kind of tried to have like long epic songs. And then the more you tour, the more you realize, and the more albums you have, the more you realize that you got to cut those songs out.
And, make them short and sweet.
Yeah. And when you spend all that blood, sweat, and tears writing that material not to play it live, oh, dude, it sucks.
So let me say that for me, it's always been Consume is my favorite, although Parallels has grown on me like a lot, and the whole discography, obviously. But so let me say how I got to know you, which is I first saw Disgorge live not until 2016 at the Mustard Dog Massacre in Santa Ana.
Yeah,
which is just a random kind of I just moved to Southern
Mega
California.
Dogs.
Mega Dogs, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
And at that time I was like into Disgorge. I knew you guys a lot, but I had never considered you guys like, I mean, I knew like Decrepit from Hometown, and like Disgorge were just kind of like, I had no personal connection. But then I got in touch with KC again, because KC had just started Visions Music Academy down in Oceanside. And first time hanging out with KC in like 5 years, 10 years maybe. And he's like, yeah, I've been jamming some Strangulation material with Diego. And I was like, dude,
he helped me fucking tab out, dude. Like 6 songs or something, drums and guitars. So
and then next thing it was, he told me that, you were going to rehearse at Visions with Troy to play Las Vegas Death Fest, but that didn't end up working out. Oh, yeah. And so next thing you know, right. Casey says, hey, dude, Diego's looking for a drummer to play.
I hit up Casey last night. I was like, are you sure you can't do it? Oh, man, no, man, I can't do it.
So Casey was like, I know this kid, and that was me. And suddenly it's like the offer is standing. And this is not for Disgorge.
His protege, you say. His protege. Like,
so this style is so gnarly for me. It's like, because it's like we just to interject real quick. I don't want to interrupt, but just like the you guys were talking earlier about like, like the style of it, like with it's the tempo, like you're talking about the downstroking, the tempos of those blasts are just so like up there, relentless, man. And it's really cool. Like, I mean, it's like, but it's a whole different style and feel. And it's like freaking hard, dude. And so I commend you for learning that stuff, Joseph. And
Yeah.
I didn't have time at the time, and I was like, I was too busy with the business, but I was like,
I got a new business, bro. Sorry, I can't go play your little festival.
No, man,
So,
I wouldn't have been able to pull it off, dude.
Yeah.
But,
so
but
Diego,
Joseph,
yeah,
go ahead.
you had LA Extermination Fest coming up, and there's like maybe 4 months left, and I was taking a year off school or like a few months off school, and at that point I was like committing to going back to school in like September, like the same week that festival was. And I remember just thinking, like, I got 4 months without really that much to do, and I was planning on like trying to write my own shit and everything, and then all of a sudden it was just, dude, this offer is sitting here to try to play a headlining Disgorge material set, and I was like, I guess I'm down, dude. Yeah, dude. And so I showed up to Visions to jam with you, and I came prepared with Womb Full of Scabs, Compost Devourment, Demise of the Trinity being the one Consume the Forsaken song I had learned. And then maybe I forget one more song from Gutted.
Yeah, Revelations or Consume. Probably
maybe Revelations. Yeah. And that was, dude, it was so fucking cool meeting you. And since then I've just been full on in Disgorge world for like the last 4 years. Like in that 3 months, I just listened to those albums like hundreds, dozens of times.
Yeah.
And it's just become like so important to me, and so like shaped everything, and getting up to speed to play that material just changed me as a drummer. And
dude, your wrists are way heavier now than when you first
when I first started playing that, I would die halfway through and I just couldn't do it. And it permanently affected me
when those feet came in, boy. That's why when the difference between Gutted and Demise is just that much more of a step up to where Ricky was trying to just get as fast as he could, and just he was just, instead of just playing learning material, trying to put something out. Consume was actually something that was worked on and just trying to fucking strive to be the best that you could be. So when you came in with your stuff, because Cranial and Gutted, that stuff's a little different, man. It's got a little different feel to it. And then when Consume is just so straightforward, and that's where your fucking bottom half came in, dude. It was just like, I was like, oh shit, I never heard like those old tunes with like 4/4 and shit.
I
was just that's really what I was gonna ask, was like, Joseph, I've never heard To Violently Vomit live. Do you change? But obviously you just answered
minimal changes.
So I fucked around with trying to turn the triplet kicks into quads, so from 3 to 4. But the thing is that I also really learned to respect the like kind of slower but more powerful kick pedals, because you can hear, even if it's triggered, you can still somehow hear how hard Ricky would be hitting it. And I hit like really kind of quietly but fast. Like I don't have a lot of strength, I have a lot of speed. So it's a different style. And when I watch the videos for me playing it, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should kind of not try to go as fast and just try to get more power behind it.
Dude.
So I'm still working it out, but like there are a few Disgorge parts where if Ricky's doing a blast and he's just doing triplets on the kick, I'll try to turn it into like a full bomb blast or whatever you'd call it, with like doubles under it. And so I try to do that the most. And I fuck around with double kick, like double strokes too. Oh shit. Oh yeah, here we go.
This is 2019.
There's TVV right there, bro.
Yeah, it's
so foot cam. AJ, right?
Yeah, that's AJ.
You're gonna see him right here.
Atonement.
There he is.
Fucking Tony and Eric right there, boys.
This is
that's awesome, dude.
Deranged. Yeah. That's Deranged, right?
Oh, dude.
That's
awesome.
Deranged Epidemic.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that's the hardest Disgorge song I had to learn, dude.
Yeah. That's choppy as fuck.
That's super. That's from the demo, or the first album, but it's fucking crazy. Anyway, so I just wanted to fucking just lay that all out. That drumming that we were just talking about, Ricky's style is
it's one of its own.
I had to learn
when I did Obscured Secretions, I tried to get Trikazi to learn Disgorge tunes, because same deal, just like how Ricky got me. Disgorge has a bigger name. What up, bro? Let's do it.
Yeah.
And he's all, I can't play that shit. He tried, bro. He consumed like the easiest, but it's just a different flow. For certain parts come in, and it's like, well, out the window, late, you know.
So Obscured Secretions, let's just fill in the people who don't know, is you had a band with Matty Way again and Ed. This is post first Disgorge era.
Yeah.
And 2008 to 2010, you guys just did a demo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my brother's kitchen.
Oh, nice.
Ed brought his laptop out. We recorded Jason
What's
in the
up?
bedroom.
Kitchen demos are the shit, bro.
Yeah, dude. And then he took it home and mixed it, and Ed did, you know. Yeah, it was super sick. Recorded guitars and drums with Chikazi. Within like 6 months, they wrote like 6 songs, and 3 of them are tighter than the last, you know, just because he was on his way out of the military, going back to Ohio to do the necrotic disgorgement stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We just squoze in what we could. Because after Ben, my bass player, got the colon cancer, I didn't play my guitar for like 2.5 years or something. And I'd see friends at shows, like Cephalic especially, dude, and Hate Eternal. And, you know, I'd be like, I'm going to go backstage, see my bros. And I had no clout because I wasn't playing this show.
I'm sorry. I just want to rewind just a second because you had mentioned it. So was it...
I was rewinding. Bro.
Was it Ben's situation that made you stop?
Oh yeah, I'd try to play while he was sick towards the end, especially. I tried to play.
You couldn't. Then you just said fuck it.
Yeah, because we had 2 shows booked in Cali that ended up getting canceled. We were gonna play a full set, but Ben was only gonna get like 6 songs. Yeah, probably 6 the first one, and then like 3 or 4 the second one, because that was like another 2 months later. And then after he had passed, just to keep up on my chops, because I walked past my brother has, like back then he had 2 band rooms. So you had one room for his kit and one room for mine, because that was when Chikazi had like a big old Pete Sandoval, you know, Covenant set with a cage and all kinds of gnarly shit. So basically he took up the whole room. So my brother had his drums in one area, and then I had our stuff in another. And I'd go to play before all that, and I couldn't play. I just started crying. I literally could not fucking play, dude, for like 2.5 years. And then Chikazi had asked me, because I'd seen we'd be hammered at like local bars. You know, that's when Jumping Turtle was around, and yeah, bro, fucking, he'd be all, I played with you in Regurgitation and this necrotic disgorgement. You know, I'm from Ohio, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, or whatever, guy. You know, fucking hammered Marine. You know, and he's like, no, I got long hair and a beard. Check it out. You know, I was like, I don't see it. And then, like after the 3rd time I talked to him, he ended up giving me a 2 CDs, Regurgitation and Necrotic, the first Necrotic. And I was like, oh shit, this dude's got some flavor, you know? And he was always just a chipper, fucking rad. Like, he's my brother till I die, still till this day. Just a rad dude.
Right on.
And so finally, man, it was Cephalic Carnage and Hate Eternal at the newer Soma, and I could not get backstage. And in my main deal, and I'm not talking backstage like to party, I'm talking like on the stage, behind the drums. Casey knows this. I love to sit behind drummers. Behind the drums, behind the guitar cabs, just feeling the essence of a natural room. Not to critique musicians, but just to imagine myself in the band room. And you can just hear the naturals, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's the best place to watch from.
Best place, dude. And I could not do it, even though I'd played that place a million times and I had rock star status before. Because of my hiatus, dude, I had no rock star status. And I went home crushed. Like literally crushed. And I was like, what am I like? That's when I realized I was pissing away all the years of music. Before that, I was just Diego that played guitar because I was a skater. You know, that was my fucking shit. Music was last, skateboarding was first. And then when we started touring and playing music, I realized, oh shit, I don't got the balls to be touring the world skateboarding back in the mid-90s. But music is taking me places, so I had to sacrifice skateboarding because I hurt my fingers a couple of times, had to cancel shows and shit. And just, you know.
And dude, you can't be breaking no arms if you're playing a fucking guitar.
No, dude. You know, the older you get, you got to go to work, and when you're a musician,
you can break a back and a leg, but no fucking arms or fingers or hands. Dude.
Get back on stage and break some necks.
Yeah, dude.
What's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's nuts, man.
Damn, man.
So,
Well,
all right, yeah. So, were you gonna go for another question, Joseph, or are we gonna?
Yeah, because I think pretty much anything's fair game, but people want to ask about the Australia tour.
Oh, that
So
was
let's
jam.
talk
Stigmata Productions. What up, Cameron?
Yeah, let's do. So you did Australia. You did how many Asia tours did you do in that era? Like with
That
them?
era, there was just the one because we did New Zealand with a couple days, which is where Donna Vazazel's from, and we stayed at Ricky Mayweather's rehearsal room, and he's Odious and Bowell, and he played with somebody else I can't remember.
Wait,
Cyber.
that was a third Odious band. I've only known Odious. Wait, no. Is there Odious, the Odious, Odious Mortem, Odious Sanction, and now what'd you just say? Odious what?
Odious and Bowell, right?
Fuck, dude.
And there's also the Odious Construct.
Yep.
Oh yeah, fuck, dude.
Yep.
It's
Odious
all
Mortem.
Just
Bunch
point
of
it
scrubs.
out.
Odious
No, but
Mortem.
it was super sick, dude. Because when we went out there, that was where we all. It was a huge studio, dude. Like Slayer played there or something. You know what I mean? So we all set up cots and crashed out there a couple of days before our tour. Made our own mescaline. What?
Was that video of you guys?
San
was that video?
Pedro's Cactus. Yeah,
You have a
bro,
video of that.
Dude, I remember
was
that video,
cracking
dude.
me
They took
up.
it off of YouTube, man.
You gotta find that.
We
Dude,
made
I
our own,
remember that shit,
like from
dude.
scratch. We made our own.
Yep.
You grew San Pedro cactus?
Oh no, it's legal to grow, but it's illegal to consume.
Okay.
So somewhere in some
Find it.
far off land, you know what I mean? A foot of the San Pedro cactus equals an eighth of mushrooms.
Yeah.
And you make it yourself and you have an amazing time, which was like for those of you into psychedelics, a mixture of all the good psychedelics into one. Like that's where I got exposed to dripping. What? Oh, bro. I was out there tripping on my phone when Sprint had like this little, some weird thing. I'm tripping on my phone and all of a sudden I hear inside the studio because he had it hooked up to the PA, just huge and loud. So, and I was like, oh, my favorite band. I wanted to join them when I came back to the U.S. You know, it was crazy, man. So that was our experience before we went on that tour because it was a couple shows in New Zealand and then we were in Australia for I think it was like 3 or 4 shows in New Zealand, then maybe 7 to 10 in Australia, and then we did like 3 or 4 in Asia. And we had the same package.
You guys have definitely been out of the United States more than
dude. We were the first
all of
brutal.
us, for sure.
We were the first brutal American death metal band to play Indonesia.
I was gonna ask you about Indonesia.
Yeah.
They went fucking nuts over you guys, I'm sure.
Dude, there was the biggest buzz about how this no-name, eco insight could bring us out, like all the locals, the whole scene out there. Because nobody had an idea of how huge that scene was out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how could this no-name guy bring the most brutal American death metal band out here? Like, what? And we were tripping too. We're like, Indonesia, fucking what? Dude, we're going out for 10 days for 2 shows. Fucking what? They ended up finding a way to get some cash, flew us all out there. And we knew the currency was different and the life was different, so we made a bunch of like super cheap shirts. It cost like $4 to make, and we were slanging them for like 6 or something, And we sold 2. We sold like one of those logos and one consumed, and there was like 600 people there or something. And everybody had saved up their money for like 6 months, those who thought it would happen, and then others who were like super in the metal scene already that thought it wasn't going to happen. They ended up scrounging last minute, and it was, dude, that was our first time going out there, and that was when we had Levi, and we did 2 sets. We wanted to give to the people because we never knew if we were going to be able to go back there, and thank God we did, because unlike the Michael Jackson of death metal out there in Indonesia, dude. Respect and the love is amazing, dude,
Still to this day, like even just online, you see like most of the brutal death fans are from Indonesia. That's like you get like nonstop and like Indonesian friend requests.
Guaranteed, the president of Indonesia knows who you are, dude.
Yeah, I know.
There you go for president, yeah, so good, dude, so good. And we're so glad that we did, because that opened a lot of, and he's taking Napalm Death, Carcass, Suffa, he's Cryptopsy, he's taking everybody out there, dude. And he takes great care of you.
But so you were the first to go out, and
yeah, we were the first to go out, and we stayed on cardboard boxes, dude. Our towels, like we stayed at his parents. Like, unless you've been to a third world country, you don't know how they live. It's in the National Geographic, whatever, But when you're there in it, and especially when it's music involved, and you're young in the scene, and that's how people get around, is staying at people's houses as opposed to, here's a hotel. It's like, fuck, dude, promoters don't even have, like, they're spending their savings for the 3 months to bring you out to wherever they're at, just to cover their own self. And so when they got connects and you stay at people's houses, friends' houses, like, and in the third world country, man, we had like cardboard box dividers, and
dang,
I took my towel.
Shitting in holes.
Yeah. How was the toilets? How's the toilets out there?
Hey, man, just like a lot of other places, you got a bucket, and gravity does its thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And about marsupials, that was our first exposure to marsupial, like big marsupials, dude, like rats that look like fucking cats and dogs, bro.
Yeah.
Ricky and Ben were all, what? Ah! And there was like this, not roach coach, but just little soup truck, little vendor guy there, dude. And he had the best soup ever, and we were all, well, we're going to die or get sick, or it's going to be the most amazing thing ever. And the most amazing thing ever. Indonesian food is a big awesome
swing
too.
Right there, dude.
Yeah,
You're either gonna die or it's gonna be fucking amazing.
Dude, I swear to God,
first.
You guys have like those who have toured, you'll know what I'm talking about when you just dive into something and say, well, here we go.
Yeah.
Sometimes it bites you.
Yeah, I missed the Great Wall of China because of that, dude. It sucked.
So that was with Levi. So did you guys play? You guys played at Las Vegas Fest with Levi at one point? No. I'm trying to pinpoint a time when I first kicked it with you guys, and Levi was in the band, but it may have just been a SoCal thing then. If it wasn't Vegas,
was it with Odious or with Severed?
Fuck, I think it was the Odious dudes, because this was before I was even in Severed. It was for sure before I was in Severed. I might even have still had Carnivorous going at the time.
Because we played a couple shows in the early days with Odious. For
sure. It must have been maybe. Signed. Did Disgorge have something going during the double duty tours, or did they just hang out with us at the time? Guys, do you remember this at all? I remember hanging out in a garage. Do you remember?
I know we saw you guys in San Diego. Right? Didn't we see you in San Diego, Casey?
There was supposed to. That was the show wasn't that the one that the Deeds accident happened?
Yeah,
that was that one.
Yeah, Diego and I were talking about that.
Yep. Yeah.
Deeds accident. Refresh my
dinner.
Accident.
With that thing, the balcony
we
collapsed.
had some halibut.
Oh yeah, the one that Mike
Ace Bergman, I think his name is, out of LA. His mom, like, this pad was so sick. It's a subfloor house. It's on stilts, and the corners are rounded off. Like, it's old school, bro. And Jacoby and Mike and somebody else was out on the balcony, and just rotted wood out there hanging out. Little tiny thing. It was like 2x4 or something.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, oh shit, fucking what? People around there. Oh shit, what? Jacoby's all, Mike's all,
of course.
Oh shit, you guys are playing tomorrow. Eric comes out, looking, and dude, we next thing you know, somehow all of us killed it, dude. And no disrespect to those guys, dude, but that night had an essence of its own. And if they could have been a part of it, it would have been another like an epic night for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first Decrepit.
We got in a
Holy
car
shit.
accident on the way over there. I think that was the one that me and my friend Josh.
You and
yeah,
Josh, you spun
we got
out.
we got
Dude, don't get spun out, people. It doesn't last as long.
yeah. We got like we hit a wet. We
Unless you
started
got good
hydroplaning.
genetics.
No, we got like we started hydroplaning, went in the fast lane, got hit by a car like speeding super fast, and we did like a 360. We all of a sudden were facing a humongous like semi truck. And we're like, oh shit. And they were smoking in the fucking car too. And like this cop cuts everything off, and then they open the cop opens our door, and it just starts billowing smoke out. And he's just all, pull over there. And I'm like, dude, we're screwed. Dude. There's like we're on the 405. I'm from Santa Cruz, like I got no way back. And the cop just was like, all right, you guys just handle it. All right, take it, and just took off. We're like, thank God. And then we had to, I was under 21 at the time. I had to sneak into that show by sitting in the bathroom. I literally went before while you guys were sound checking and just sat in the bathroom stall for like 2 hours.
Sounds good in the bathroom sound.
Yeah. I waited for the door,
For some
waited
reason,
for the doors to
acoustics-
open. And I went to the doors open, and I just ran behind Decrepit's merch table and just was pretending with Bill and just pretending like I was selling merch, and they never questioned me. That was how I
Wonder
snuck
what
in.
the universe had out for that night, dude. If
I
all
know.
that shit happened on that night, dude.
Yeah, that was intense.
So
Who
funny.
knows what kind of a mess would have happened? Because Deeds has been down to San Diego many a times before that, and boy, I'll tell you what, we had some good times, man.
Hell yeah.
Like, to the neck, sun's coming up, and just like,
Deeds seems to leave its mark on every fucking city they play, dude. They have San Francisco stories, they have SoCal
God, yeah.
stories.
like
They
rock
have-
star stories, dude. It's funny.
Yep.
You know what's funny?
Funny.
Speaking of rock
Thankful to be
stars,
a part of it.
dude,
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Now that Jacoby's back in action, watch out.
Fuck yeah, dude.
dude, it's funny. Diego and I
Love you, bro.
I was showing you this pass earlier, and we found this old tour pass of this old show.
Oh yeah.
You can see it here.
Oh yeah, I remember that show.
And if you notice, so you see where it says Disgorge and Decrepit. right
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
so in small letters under Decrepit, it's this little tiny band called Suicide Silence, like in tiny underneath us, and then like
This
down
little
at the
tiny
bottom,
van.
like at the very
Let
bottom.
me break the real quick. Let me break the fourth wall right now. I'm totally speaking to frozen pictures of you guys, so I don't see what you're talking about. But
Dude, you
Oh,
were
sorry,
frozen
man.
earlier, so it's all
I
good.
know.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
return the
sorry,
favor,
dude. It's
dude.
totally my fault, dude. No, I've been doing it for like 45 minutes, dude.
Oh,
Joel,
no.
you've had the most ridiculous smirk for the last 45 minutes, bro.
Good man.
You've been good.
And
with
I
the
love it.
five.
I love it. No,
I know,
it's,
you look
it-
great.
it's funny.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you look
dude.
fine.
Oh,
I just
man.
hope it comes
What's
out
the other
on
band,
the.
Casey?
I hope it doesn't ruin the YouTube. That's all I'm saying.
What's the
I
other
think
little
it's
band
fine.
on that flyer?
It's all good.
Yeah,
dude.
what's the other
We'll
band on
get-
the bottom?
We'll get that all fixed, man. No worries. But
No, I just
Yeah.
don't want to. That's all I'm saying. As long as if I'm coming through, fine. That's okay.
you're-
I'm good
I-
talking to fucking frozen pictures.
I hear you now. I don't know if
All right, all right.
uh,
All right,
Yeah,
Diego. Are you
so
coming
what-
at me, bro? Are you coming
what-
at me hard
and-
right now? Shh. He's not frozen. Diego's frozen like this, dude. Coming out. Calm down.
Dude, we're all
Calm
glaring
down,
at
dude.
you,
Hey,
Anthony.
I
We're
have,
all
I
glaring
have,
at you
I
right
have arthritis.
now. You're
Anthony,
cutting off
Anthony,
Casey.
there's a mute button down
Love
there.
you, Uncle Johnny.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dude.
chaos.
You want me to call your probation officer, dude? We're not gonna log your hours this week, bro.
I may look the part, but I am not the part, bro.
I want to know the band,
All right.
Casey.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
the,
yeah.
What's
Casey,
the other
what's the
band?
band?
I don't think Anthony heard what I was saying, but
I
anyways.
didn't hear. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. So at the very end, there's this little tiny like logo at the very bottom right. It says kind of like still, it's like the faceless, and it's like this tiny little.
Yeah, yeah.
bottom.
I remember
I
seeing
can't.
them.
And I'm like,
I
that was
still-
pre-Derek.
show. What is going on? It's
That
like
was
it just-
pre-Derek.
that was-
Yeah,
Remember
what
they had
is
their
that
original
show?
singer.
It was like way back. It's so crazy.
I was there. I remember that show. I remember watching Disgorge. I was in the very front. There's a picture.
What year was that, man? It's
The
like,
it was
next
like
generation.
2005 or
Yeah,
2006,
dude.
something like that. Yeah, and that was like,
So,
yeah.
And
that was
where
when
is
I
this
fir-
at? So this
Nope.
is a show of suicide.
yeah, they were like this
downtown
tiny
LA.
logo at the bottom. They don't even like on the main.
Wow.
logo.
It was downtown LA somewhere. I remember.
Yeah, it was
I just-
like-
I remember Necrophagist played, and yeah, it was. It was
Wasn't that
crazy.
with Hannes was still in Necrophagist, and it was like
that was their first.
It
tour.
was in like downtown LA, that like rave place or whatever, right?
Yeah, because we played with them in San Francisco, and I think we caught up to them at that show.
Oh yeah, that was the first time we saw Necrophagist. Was when we played with them.
Don't catch the other stuff.
With all that shit. That was a cool one. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah. But that was fun, man. I mean, those were good times. I remember anytime we got a chance to see Disgorge or play with Disgorge, we were always like super stoked on it. That night that you guys came down. And Deeds couldn't play, that we were just talking about that story when they fell off the balcony. Dude, like you guys headlined that show, and I just remember it was so sick.
Dude,
ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
As sad as it was that they canceled out, but us being able to extend our set times, how dope was that?
Yeah, you guys pulled it off.
The room was sick.
Awesome.
The room was like just like the album. It was just full and sick, you know what I mean? And just to be able to those songs that, just in case we get a longer set, you know what I mean? Next thing you know, fucking
dude,
how long did you guys extend your set? How many more songs did you guys play?
Back then, because the parallel songs were like fucking 5-6 minutes, you know, so it was just like 2 more songs or something. But it was good to be able to get them out because you spend all that blood, sweat, and tears preparing the songs, and when you get cut short, whether it's cramps or difficulties, you know, you're like, fuck, you know, all that work. And, you know, if you're a fan of your own music, man, you want to play it and you want to showcase it for the people because they pay their money to do it. So, you know, how many shows have we been to?
I mean,
where they're like,
any band that's like into playing their like any band that's been together for as long as we've been doing music together, you know, you have to be somewhat of a fan of your band because, dude, why would I torture myself playing this music with you guys for so many years?
Hate your own music so much. You're like,
you know,
find that zone and forget about everything.
Casey and Joel they just really need me to do this, dude. I'm going to do it for the next 15
Yeah, we're just playing
years,
this week and watch
dude.
Anthony sing. That's
a giant
only reason we're doing it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I know what you're saying.
Obviously, it's like you get to a point where you are a fan of it too. You know, well,
dude,
I speak differently than you guys because I don't have shit to do with the music.
I hate everything I've ever played.
I've never once said to you guys, you know what? Maybe that riff should be a breakdown versus a digga digga.
Why not? Anthony's lives matter.
But there's a difference between digga digga and then digga 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 digga, like
when it's done, you guys say, okay, now we want to put your voice on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm in. You know, and it sounds fucking great. And I'm excited to do it because you guys come with great shit. But I'm just saying, like, I have no.
What do you do at band practice when they're playing and you don't have a vocal?
I sit there and smoke weed until they say, "Let's go."
Do you free jam vocal parts when they're jamming?
Oh yeah, I could do that.
We just pull on his shirt. We pull on his shirt, and then he growls.
Dude, I already told Casey, you guys need to record one of your free jams. Send it to me. I'm gonna free vocal jam over it,
just like the early '90s.
Well, there's one on YouTube. Dude. You can do it, dude. I'll send you the audio. It's me.
Send it to me.
We did it.
Is it? Can I drop it into Ableton super easy?
Yeah, if I send you the audio, for sure. Dude.
All right, dude. Boom.
Yeah,
drop it into
Ableton. That'd be funny. Yeah.
Riley
did that with us.
Just all networking, bros. That's all it is, dude.
We did a jam with Riley.
Ethernet.
That was sick,
dude.
And he did.
No, I'm into that.
Ethernet,
but he lives
Ethernet.
Shout out to Riley McShane.
Yeah, Riley's
Riley. Something.
Yeah.
Mr. Smilebo, let's go bowling.
So back to
Casey's birthday is coming up.
Yeah, right. Last year, yeah, that was
I know we
definitely
deviated from the timeline, but I mean, this one's been just free form, just whatever, you know.
Let's talk about To Violently Vomit.
I want to get to the point where I got to be playing with some shows with Disgorge when fucking we were doing the SoCal shit with Severed, dude, and we did that. What was it, 3 or 4 shows that we did together?
Was that when fucking somebody got lumped up in front of the venue?
Probably Ivan.
The vocalist of certain band fucking lumped somebody up in front of the venue.
Maybe. Fuck, dude, I can't remember, but I just know we were fucking tearing it up together, dude. It was sick, dude. Like, it just felt super cool to be like, because I don't think I had ever played a show with Disgorge. I had seen Disgorge and kicked it with you guys, but I don't think anything before that. I don't think we actually played a show together.
Oh yeah.
You know, did Disgorge and Odious play shows together when I was in it? Fucking fly.
Dude, I've seen Joel sing. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
The band's so gnarly. Like only until the past couple years of hanging out with Casey, like I've known the name Odious and I've jammed it and I bumped the CDs. But in regards to like hanging out with the rest of the band,
know.
like I recognize Joel because he was just a duffer when he first started, and then and he's played like multiple roles in the band, you know. And then Dan, when Casey and I were tabbing out the Strangulation stuff, I got to see him at one of Casey's parties. Right. And then now from doing this, getting familiar with you, like from the early days for me, there's, you know, that's back when Dusty was like severed, you know. And
well, yeah, I mean, I was kicking it with those guys when Dusty was in the band for sure. I've like
you could have been one of the Duffers hanging out when we partied out in Santa Cruz because there was I think we played a show out
before I was even in the band. We kicked it for sure. Yeah, before I was in Severed, we kicked it for sure.
Right.
And anytime Decrepit came to San Diego, anytime Decrepit came to San Diego, I would hang out. We'd always connect, and Diego would show me his new projects and shit, and in the van, drink some beers, stuff like that. So that's pretty much. I mean, I saw you back in the day a few times, and then it turned into you were my San Diego bro that we would hang out with every time. Right? You know, you're like a face I needed to see. If we played the Soma, if we played, we played a couple times, even through like LA. You came out to a festival or something like that. I remember hanging out. You were just part of my Southern California bros that had to be there. I was like, what the fuck's Diego? If you weren't there, it was like a bummer.
Yeah, right on, man. Yeah, there's definitely like 3 shows where vividly I remember checking out Odious, you know, because back in those days, dude, my head was so different to where I wasn't, you know, and Derek Boyer is the one that actually passed it on to me, saying you're in competition with the other bands, not out of being a dick, but just trying to better yourself and represent your band to the fullest, you know. So I took that afterwards because I'm not a competitive person. So I was like, all right, well, fucking whatever. When you go on tour and it's like a 3rd or 5th date in, you're clicked. You're like, this is so easy, you know. But when you're learning and before you go on tour, to have that kind of mindset to where you're gonna crush your friends, you know, it's like, dude, I don't want to crush my friends, dude. But at the same time, I gotta project and, you know, just kill it on stage for the people that are there, that even half of them that haven't even been exposed to Disgorge. You know, before I knew who Disgorge was, they came on and I heard, what the fuck's going on? And I was like, oh shit, this is sick. You know, I don't know what's going on, but I know it's fucking sick. You know what I mean? And then the more you listen to it, you know, just like Joseph from doing To Violently Vomit, now that's why he's more of a Parallels fan, because he's like, oh shit, this from him being a musician or multi-instrument musician, you know, he's like, fucking, oh dude, you know, now he's picking apart the rhythms, guitars, and drums, and he's like, oh, this shit's fucking sick, you know.
Dude, I still listen to you guys' albums, and I have no idea how the fuck you guys remember all that shit. I'm like,
I don't either.
I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. Doesn't make any sense to me. It's just like, I mean, I'm trying, basically, I'm like, did they just listen to it like a million times in a row? And then, like, is that the only way? Because, like, it's basically just relentless brutality. Just like,
I can't remember a movie that I watched last night, but I can remember the song I wrote from when I was in like middle school.
Yep.
You know, that's just how we're wired. It just our
and then you made it to paranormal activity, dude. And you got famous. And then...
Oren Pelly, what up, homie? You know, we got cut out.
Explain that story, because I don't know it that well.
This is
Should we explain? Should you explain?
Yeah, I don't know how legally binding this is. Yeah. I've already had issues.
I got a version of it. I just want to see what your version is.
Long story short is family friend. I installed wood floors in a family friend's house, and he asked me a bunch of weird questions on maintenance of them. Next thing you know, I'm asked if he can use a clip of my video in a movie that he's making in hopes of getting picked up by something bigger later. And I'm like, yeah, dude, no worries. Because at that time, Ben was on his way out. Ricky was unable to be in contact with, and AJ was the same. And Eric and I were cool, but he was hard to get a hold of sometimes. So I signed the contract with DreamWorks to give rights to Disgorge, audible, audio, and video. And then, so if you look up Paranormal Activity for the director's cut before DreamWorks gets a hold of it, it's got Disgorge's music for like, and video for like a minute and a half. You know, because he asked me, I want to approach Incubus, but record label and everybody said no. You know, it was like crazy amounts of money and they couldn't do it. He was like,
my experience with that movie real quick is because it's the first version you're talking about where your music's there for a minute and a half. The final version still has you guys, I think, but
video.
you can't. It's the video, but you
and
can
it's like
still hear
5,
the
10
faint
seconds
audio. You can hear the faint TV audio of you guys playing for like 10 seconds, and then it switches. When the scene switches to a different frame, then the music actually changes, and it's only video of you.
And guys. that was somebody's family member that was affiliated with another party that they wanted their music to be over it. Oren was
which
given
was a drastic change.
The director was asked, okay, now that I'm buying this contract, would you like the video or the audio to be in the video in the movie? And I remember dude, I remember Cannibal Corpse. I remember being in the movie theater for Ace Ventura, dude, and Cannibal came on, and I had seen them already. And I was like, fucking, they came on the stand, because the initial gun, you know, for Hammer Smash Face, unless you're a Cannibal fan, you don't know that that's them coming in and that split second. And you know, being a brutal death metal musician, time, we're like flies, dude. The fucking time is like, you know. So recovery time for us is like, you know, 32nd of a second. We were already on where our fuck up was. And so when Hammer Smash Face came in, I was like, oh, and I looked around the movie theater, bro, and I heard fucking, yeah, and I was like, this is so sick. And then I looked at him, and then I saw Chris headbanging and Alex, and I fucking, you know, and Jack, and I was like, oh my, gross, dude. So I asked Oren, okay, you know what? Never mind the video, put the audio in there. That way you hear Consume the Forsaken just, you know, and lo and behold, it comes up with the video and not
the opposite.
The audio. And I'm not even in the frames, bro. Like, it's all Ben and Ricky and maybe some clips of Jamie. Like, I'm not even in it, you know?
And that's why you're rich.
That's why, yeah. Spiritually rich. You know, more humble, less mumble.
That dude's way more rich, dude. I thought that first original movie, I don't think he put that much money into it. And then it's a
dude, there was a couple
are they on like fucking Paranormal 5 now or some shit?
Oh yeah, dude, they did it right, you know, did it right the first time, and then Hollywood touched it up a little bit, and it was, but they're really rad people, dude. So, you know, it was just I still have it plaqued. Somebody landed up framing the contract for me for my birthday, and I still got the DreamWorks Concealed and Forsaken. Fucking, I got it framed in my room.
Damn.
Some things are for myself. The politics may have the others, but I have some of my own.
Awesome.
So let's try to talk about To Violently Vomit, getting off the ground, and then that leading into Disgorge Reunion. So we're like around 2009, the first TVV shows. Is that right? With Scott as your first drummer?
Yeah.
To play Disgorge material.
Yeah, Scott Ellis, dude, and he's kind of the same as KC, to where they were younger kids playing in the rehearsal rooms where that we all used to jam at, and he was down the road and he played guitar first, and he came in the room and we were doing gutted stuff, and he was like, "What? You guys are gnarly, what? You know?" And then so hard to find drummers, so he's like, you know what? I can't find a drummer. Might as well start playing drums. And Ricky was sick, so he was kind of like, he'd come in the room and always hang out and go back and try to play different stuff. And then he became an amazing drummer. And so I decided when Ben was passing away, I told him we were going to have a legacy. I was like, Disgorge is already huge, and we got love all over the world from musicians and friends, and just, you know, like I said, I'm a fan of Disgorge before I'm a member of Disgorge. And why wouldn't you want that to carry on, especially now that the internet age is all huge, you know, so you can just have to at the push of a button, boom, you know, there it is. And so I told so when he was on his deathbed, dude, in the hospital, I told him to violently vomit. I'm going to do a tribute to Disgorge because there was so many politics branching off of Paranormal Activity that I was like, you know, I wrote the music. It's, you know, I can get a drum machine to fucking play the beats if I have to, just to be able to play live. Because, you know, Ricky moved out of state. We were always 5 nights a week. Then all of a sudden, boom. It was like, fuck. And of course, John Zig's out there and Steve's out there, Sect of Execration. And then, you know, they got an awesome project going together. And it's like you're still asked out. So I did the Obscured Secretions, tried to do a Disgorge tribute. Trikazi couldn't do it. Trikazi left. Then I knew Scott was a Disgorge fan. He was already playing like a couple other different bands. And I said, hey, man, how would you feel about playing Disgorge? And fucking jumped on in, dude. And it was like, he had something to prove to himself to be able to play like somebody he had looked up to. And he was just, he's an amazing human being. That guy's fucking super, super humble, super rad. And he just came in just hungry for himself, feeling blessed to be able to like play with me because we were already cool and you know, we weren't friends, but we were just cool, rad people. And next thing you know, he's playing for one of the locals that he looked up to that actually inspired him to play drums. Now he's playing those parts, and he was always like, fuck, I hope Ricky doesn't get mad if I'm playing his stuff. And, you know, I talk to Rick every now and then, and he was like, nah, man, you know, Scott's cool. You know, I'm not really feeling what you guys are doing. You know, it should be Disgorge, but whatever, you know. Fuck you, Diego, but I love you, but it's all good, you know. And same way with Scott, because Scott's just a rad dude. So, you know, how can you hate on him? And that actually tightened us up a lot, dude. We learned like a whole set, you know, in different tunes and recording capabilities with him and Ed. And next thing you know, he moved away, couldn't play anymore. And then I got Ron Casey to jump in because I asked a bunch of people in the scene, no, I can't do it. I can't obligate myself to this, obligate myself to that. And like Ron did Brain Drill and something else, and he was fucking sick and
Inanimate, right?
Yeah, before Inanimate.
Before
I knew about those dudes.
I think he was doing Flesh Consumed before.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Flesh Consumed and Brain Drill and something else. And he was just like the most humble dude, man, and a shredder. And I remember bringing him to my brother's house, and he just sent me YouTube videos or videos that he recorded like Consumed. You know, I started off. Womb was the first Disgorge song that was ever written amongst Disgorge before I joined the band.
Yeah.
And Consume was the first song that I wrote. And they're both structured super easy. The rhythms, everything about it is just super straightforward and easy. And they're short. So I always have the drummers learn that one. And Ron, he was the first one to actually like send me a video of, look, this is me playing. I was like, oh shit, okay, awesome, sounds good. Because other people say, yeah, I could play it, no problem. And then you go and you jam with them and no, you cannot play it. You're close, but it ain't doing it. You know what I mean? And so Ron did a couple shows, man. Then he started doing Inanimate stuff, and then he was caught up when I needed something. And then the next thing you know, KC's local, man, and we were already talking, you know, doing strangulation stuff. And he's like, Joseph, you know, I got this dude that huge Disgorge fan, and, you know, and he's wanting to get it on. And, you know, like, this dude's young, going to school, he's a doctor, you know, and fucking, but he gets on the kit and he's like, and he's metal and straightforward. He's like super, you know, you're super rad, Joseph, but you're like, you know, you're super brutal too, like in your own way, you know, you're like, let's just get shit done, you know, let's do it too, like, which I like, because business is business, you know, when you got a show to perform, you gotta kind of, if you want to do it right and represent yourselves.
That's the coolest. Well, one of the cool things, not just the material, but it's always been like, you book these sick shows. They don't always fucking happen, like this year especially, like case in point. But like, it's always like, we're headlining this festival, and it's like, not only do I want to be able to play this material, I also want it to be deserving of the fans that are coming out and of the legacy So yeah, that's just, we've done that one show so far, and we were supposed to play LA or Vegas this year. We were supposed to play fucking Asia this year. But whenever we do, we'll
and
fucking
Jersey
do those.
and New York,
and
too,
Jersey and New York, and Philly,
Yeah.
But I definitely want it to be like there's a huge legacy, of course, Ricky, but then even Scott and Ron and the other dudes, like everyone kind of. It's great. This is the YouTube era, so I've watched all those dudes' videos like dozens of times to learn the parts, and it's like, it's just fucking rad. Like,
and you're evolving yourself as a like Disgorge drummer. You're already a fucking badass musician, but every member we've had in Disgorge, whether it's vocals, guitars, bass, everybody's molded themselves into being a better musician, just because of all the weird little nuances and flow that Disgorge has in it. Like Sean Whitaker, he jammed with us for a little while and wrote the intro for Dissecting. And then I came in and wizardized it and started fucking all kinds of shit up. And
Joseph, when did you start playing the sax? Because I see
boy.
With you shredding on the sax.
Gender reveal party sessions, bro.
No, for real. That's dope.
When the fires were happening.
6 years ago was the last time you picked it up.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I actually played saxophone before I played guitar or drums. I played saxophone. I
figured it would have been maybe a first instrument. Yeah.
I played piano first, and then I played piano for like 5 years, and then I played
my
saxophone.
My 9-year-old's getting really interested in the piano. He's shredding on the.
So I'd say for anybody watching, if they have a kid, like start them on piano is the best way to learn theory.
After 5 or something though, right? In order to be able to.
And then figure out like guitar or whatever after that, but it's the way to go. Yeah. So I started sax in like 6th grade, and that saxophone I played in that gender reveal video, that's the same saxophone I started on middle school and 20 years ago. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And I just played sax through middle school, high school, college, and then I put it down, and then 8 years later just picked it up, and actually I'm playing sax on the new Transcend the Realm album. So
nice.
First recording session with it coming up.
There you go.
Nice.
Here we go.
What he's referring to is when they say, okay, so the gender reveal party thing is because of the fires.
Real quick, I want to start a hardcore punk band, and you're going to be my saxophone player.
I'm super down, dude. Well, one of the big inspirations is Stratosphere for sure.
Oh yeah, totally.
Dude,
nice.
I'll be your Stratosphere friend.
Let's see this.
Oh, dude.
Move the camera or move the video so it's not in the way.
Yeah.
So this is
so we're hanging out, and Casey's sitting at the camera, and he's like, "Hey Joseph, why don't you move over here?"
Hey,
I was in the right place,
the wrong spot. I know.
So go to the end of the video,
dude. End of the video gets dark. Oh, it's buffering up.
Like here.
When I turn around at some point.
Gong. This improv jams. That was so fun. Oh yeah, right here.
Oh, dude, right there.
Yeah. I'm super down to keep this thing going,
dude. Right here. Is there more? Yeah. You're hitting concrete now, dude, when you're digging a post.
Daredom, bicycle in the back row.
Oh my god.
Dude, this is a legit idea, dude.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, maybe we should do that again. That was pretty fun.
Oh,
so what is it, a boy or a girl? What's the gender reveal?
And the sick part, dude, is like
forest fire is
I know.
what happened.
I don't even remember.
It's
The
it was
sick-
that
the
one
sick-
that started
because
the
they
fire.
did that
Yeah.
explodes and then the fire happened. That's why, because it was like during
Oh,
the
I
fire.
see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Those red-
that's
okay,
why
okay.
we called it
Yeah.
that.
I thought he was gonna
fire.
blow like
No, it had
pink
nothing to
smoke
do
out of his
with
sex.
That's
No,
a good
no.
fucking
Dude,
call, though.
Casey and I were brainstorming. Okay, what should we name this? What should we name this? And fucking
I think you guys
gender
thought-
reveal
yeah,
party,
Joseph
dude.
thought of it. Sorry.
I just like
Oh,
scrolled
God.
through my phone and I
Yeah.
just saw a story and I'm just like, gender reveal party.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
You know, it's so
Dude,
sick because when I
after the
saw
video-
you out of the corner of my eyes setting up your sax, bro.
Okay, you
And I
guys
was
are
all-
slowly coming back
I was-
in. My internet
like-
fucking sucks.
I was
dude.
like,
I'm sorry.
Ethernet.
After
One,
that video, I was
two,
looking
three,
at
four.
greatest squares. Okay, I got Joel, I got Diego, I got just all right. Everybody's back. Yes. Fuck.
You sound like a homeless person.
All right,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay.
I'm in it. Maybe I am in an alley, dude. You don't know. I may be in an alley right
Dude, we'll get it fixed. It's cool, man.
now. And Diego gets
Oh,
stuck again.
Ethernet, there you go.
Yeah, you're stuck,
Ethernet karate, dude.
So you
Ciao.
saw me setting up
So-
my saxophone.
No, so I saw you setting
Yeah.
up your sax, and I was like, "Oh, what?" You know, I got faith in you because I know you're badass already. But when you came, and you're writing, because I'm tuned to C standard, so when you started doing the lower notes already on the sax, like you had started off kind of like what's Nile like the Egyptian or those kind of
Phrygian type shit.
Phrygian,
Yeah.
those kind of
I
scale,
like
like you were
mine,
kind of doing those kind of scales on the sax. You know,
Yeah.
oh, okay, look at what, you know, and then all of a sudden, towards the end, when we started freezing it, you know, where it was all, I was like, dude, Joseph's fucking metal right now. Like you got like doom, like death, just
Yeah.
gore in the saxophone. I was
Dude,
like,
that could work.
that was my first. That was my first.
You really blow, dude.
Being surrounded by a
Yeah.
family full of musicians when it comes to like Mexican music, which is horns all over the place and classical and just and
Totally.
big band. Like I've been around it forever, but I've never
Oh
heard.
yeah, man.
I'd never heard besides for like a random night on like Jazz 88.3, like just a
Dude.
random night when you hear dark jazz. When you came in with the sax, when Casey and I were getting that
Yeah,
darkness, I was like,
dude.
okay, now he's a guitar player going.
Dude, when I first played with a saxophone player, like in college, like you know, years later when I was teaching, like I was like, dude, this is like, and it's like a shredding sax player. I was like, dude, nobody knows how cool this is except
Yeah.
the rest of the world. But I never knew how fucking.
Now
cool
we
that was.
know. Huh?
Yeah, I was like, what
know.
the fuck? Like, it sounds, it's like insane right in front of you. Somebody could just play like
So
all
sick.
kinds of altos or it doesn't even matter. They're all sick,
Yeah.
you know, like or in other, you know, brass and
Yeah.
wind instruments and of course and everything. But
Especially when your bro's doing it.
like, saxophone.
I gotta give a shout out to
it, dude.
bands like The Faceless and Rivers of
Yeah.
Nile
Rivers of Nile.
Totally, dude. Yeah, for
that
sure.
have been
man.
bringing sax in.
Oh,
Anyone
Eson.
Chris the Veil.
Yeah. Eson's like one of the first time I ever heard it was an Eson from Emperor.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was one. And then all of a
Oh,
sudden
cool,
you're
man.
hearing like
No,
on a,
that's
you know, more
Eson from
bands.
Ed Talorda and Heather Talorda.
Also,
That's the only Eson I know.
The Last of Lucy, just a shout out to those dudes. in
Yeah,
Huntington
last salute. What up,
Beach.
Josh? Fucking woo.
Yeah, dude. They
These dudes
have
are gnarly.
sax on their Ashvada album. Is really sick, and I
Gosh, gosh, gosh.
still want to play that material with you dudes out there. So shout out.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
So if you
Diego,
guys,
some questions, dude.
real quick.
Oh yeah.
If you guys do a new Disgorge album, would you consider a saxophone on it or?
I
Ooh.
don't know, man. It'd probably be that rhythm that you and I were free jamming right there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd have to ask Casey
that
Howard from
particular
Decrepit
part.
Birth if I could have the rights to that or not. Odious Mortem,
man.
because you know.
It's free jam.
See if
dude.
DreamWorks
It's
will
up-
sign
it's up
off
for
on it.
grabs. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you
I'm
get
just kidding.
you get
Sorry.
Ricky back to play Disgorge around 2012, and then you guys play Mexico. right?
Yeah, dude, for a
So the
month.
Question.
We went
yeah.
from TJ all the way down to Cancun. And
Yeah,
when we were in
someone
Mexico
asked,
City,
yeah.
when we were in Mexico City, they had these badass, like, this is a black Stein right here, all badass, and they had one, but it had like 10 stamped with the Disgorge logo and parallels and something over it. And I was like, hey, you know, that's when we're trying to do business type of stuff. I was like, hey, you know, give me like 20 of those if you got 100 of them or whatever, and try, you know, that way we could ask them for ourselves and sling them inside. And the lady was like, oh, no. Just poor lady. You know, she's an older Mexican lady. And she's like, no, hell no. I can't give you nothing for free. They'll take it from my shit. All right. So I had to buy my own stamped fucking mug from over there. But it chipped. So that's why I got the other one at home. I got my freshie.
That one's sick.
There you go.
From Mooney. Thank you.
What other shows do you guys do in this 2012 to 2016 era? You guys played a bunch
that's
of
when
fests.
we got Nate from Gortuary, dude. We went to Columbia. We did a bunch of I think we did Chicago, where
That's the same vocalist that was with you when
Angel was the vocalist.
Angel?
Angel was the vocalist. Oh no, okay. You're right. Never mind. Sorry, I was stuck on stupid for a second. Yeah, that's Nate Nate from Gortuary.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, San Diego. And that was same thing for him, man. That made that dude Disgorge. I mean, that poor guy fucking worked his ass off, dude. Me, Ricky, and
dude.
Drilling him. Yeah, he's
he's
another amazing human being. Yeah, Nate's super rad. Congratulations.
I think we shot some cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rad dude. But yeah, it's a trip, man. For some reason, Disgorge has always had just a mixture of vocalists, and it's always because.
Who's got the gurgle?
There's a lot of dude. After the mid '90s, there's a lot of people that got rad gutturals.
Mm-hmm.
It's just whether or not they came out. They were exposed, and but it's just the hardship when you are at a certain point in your life, and it's either family or work or music, and that's basically the cutoff. We started touring and playing, we reformed, started touring, playing all crazy, and. Nate was like, fuck, dude, I can't lose my job to go on tour with you guys, And Rick and I were just on fire trying to write the new album. So it's just that, I can get how it can be overwhelming. Because, Travis used to call Ben, my brother Joe, and I Nazis, no point intended for history and everybody. But it was just fucking, just relentless, dude. We wouldn't cut that guy no slack. He'd want to party and hang out and do backing vocals. And we're like, no. We're writing new material and we're fucking, trying to do this and just kill it. And, it's, luckily every vocalist has had their own impact in the band. Because we had, Disgorge had Brian, initially the originator with Brian, Tony, and Ricky. And that guy's traveling the world playing jazz, stand-up bass, just killing it still. He's still playing. And luckily we got Maddie, he was already in 2 other San Diego bands, so I knew him before Disgorge. And then we had AJ killed it, did Consume, and we had more of a choppy, brutal, just more chopped up. And then Levi came in and he just showed up. He's got some Louisiana nuts on him, man. He fucking came out and he was like, I moved to San Diego. I know you guys need a vocalist. I'm going to prove myself and come and sing for you guys. And we're like, dude, Sabbatic Feast was a dope band, but Disgorge is Disgorge, so when there's other bands. I remember
that shit. Yep.
Yeah, so he just came in and, San Diego, fucking Disgorge just has its own energy to it. So
little side note on Levi, I decided to do some research and I looked him up on Facebook because I haven't talked to him forever. I haven't talked to him for 10 years. And he looks straight out of Duck Dynasty now, dude.
Yeah.
Got the big old great beard.
He's got as many houses as Duck Dynasty does now, probably. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Homeboy's doing good, man.
Yeah, he looked like he's doing great.
Yeah, Ben got sick and took its hiatus, and Disgorge took its hiatus, and Levi was like, you know what? You hit me up to start a side project and try to get stuff going, and I was like, fuck, man, I can't even play my guitar. And then he had an opportunity to go and make a life for himself, and year later's got a house and whatever else, so he's that dude's got his little does everybody know he's got a recording studio and everything in his own house, and he's just messing around having fun. Sick. But it was a trip, dude, because when he came in, I don't think I gave that dude enough credit until I heard him in the studio, and he sounds like a beast, Maddie's got Maddie's OG gutter. The only thing I can compare it to is Butcher to Birth. Chris Barnes' Butcher to Birth is is Maddie, and then the evolution, of course, over the years, and AJ is just so chopped up, dude. He's a combination of Frank and Maddie or something, and then And then Levi came in, and he's all, because he had to learn 2 albums already. He had to learn the live set. He had to learn, Disgorge at a much faster tempo. Even the older songs are a lot faster than what they were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And him and Ricky got together all the time, dude, and would just work on stuff. And when we went in the studio, I heard, because we had a good sounding band room, but show up late or whatever, that guy, he'd be hanging out, and fucking me and Ricky were just on fire, and he'd just be kind of more chill, than we were. And when I heard him in the studio, I was like, fuck, dude, this is gonna sound sick,
Cool.
all the way up until the studio, bro. I was like, fuck, another vocalist, another album, and I actually arranged a lot of the vocal patterns on that album, like for the songs and lyric titles and stuff. So I was like, I hope you can make this work, And then when I went in there, dude, it sounded so sick, and it sounded beastly. And for the evolution of Disgorge vocals, it's like you got super guttural, then you got punchy, guttural, choppy, and then you got Levi, which is like kind of more well-rounded in a sense, because we always tried to incorporate lyrics, like after the Cranial Impalement, the 2 demos, the Cranial album, always, there's no lyrics, there's no this. So for Gutted, Maddie tried to prove himself and having lyrics, and every vocal pattern and lyric that Maddie does on the CD, it matches the sleeve, the lyrics. And so we just tried to keep that going. So when Levi came in, it was like, we got it, and it's just raw. He brings the raw and the raw, but it's not so, not like raw or ray, you know what I mean? But the pronunciation and the beastliness that it had behind it, it was just sick. So it's kind of gnarly, dude. And then doing TVV, I got to experiment with the vocalists all over again, because now Maddie's
Bill Robinson calling me right now.
What's he calling you for?
Put him on, dude. Let's
put him on.
Look, put him on speaker.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's get Bill on here.
Hey,
Ex-guest.
Bill, you're on the podcast again with Diego.
What up, Bill?
I don't even know what's up about any of that.
I don't even know.
No.
Honestly, dude, I don't know who started this conversation that you guys are all doing. It's to me, it's not funny. I gotta sleep, and the whole time my phone's next to my ear going beep beep.
You gotta charge it, bro.
When I just texted, can whoever this is take my number out? Shara wrote back like PFFFT, and I don't know if that's part of your conversation or she's heckling me, but like whoever made it, if you can take my fucking phone number off of here, just at this point I have to get up and go charge my phone so I have an alarm to wake up tomorrow.
4:30.
But it's kind of not, because I'm sleeping, man, and it's like I got work tomorrow, and it's endlessly going beep 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 every time you guys text each other.
Who's texting
So
me?
wait,
I don't know what he's talking about.
Joel, you're texting somebody else, and then he gets notified every
Am
time.
I texting you?
I just got to.
Am I texting you?
Well, there's a multimedia text about some bonfire, and it started hours ago.
Oh,
Dude.
that's not me.
This
That's
feed
not me.
has been on fire since it started, bro.
I'm not a part of it. I'm not a part of it.
You know what?
I'm not a part of it.
No
I thought you
longer
were joking
part
Tell
of
him to
this.
turn his phone off, dude.
Axl Rose, I'm
Tell
out.
him to turn his phone off and
Right
go
back
to
to-
sleep.
Tell Bill we all say we love him.
Axl Rose has left the
Oh,
building.
I don't even know.
guys.
Yeah, I'm not getting the text, so I don't know what you're talking. I don't. It might be an old phone number of mine, because I'm not. Someone has you on it. I thought you were just joking.
Poor Bill, dude.
All
He's
right,
just like, what the fuck?
You have to call up Shara.
Oh man, that
I don't
sounds so
know.
annoying.
She instantly responded when I had said that, and then she will answer her phone. She's all, text me on the message. Text me the whole thing, text me.
All right. Well, just let her know to remove you. I gotta get back to this, but I'm not. It's not me though. All right. All right. All right. Love you, brother. He's seriously pissed. I thought he was just joking. I thought he was just doing a rant.
Dude, I thought he was killing it right now. I thought he was killing it. I thought he rolled right into something, and I was like, he is fucking killing it right now.
Oh my god! I know. I thought he was just freestyling.
I was like, dude, we have to have Bill every fucking episode now.
That was so funny. He just called right now.
Either way, dude.
He just called to do like a Bill rant.
Okay.
Total legit.
Let's just be honest right now. Let's just be honest right now. Bill's not going to see this, dude. So all good.
Bill's not going to watch this. Yeah, he doesn't.
Bill from Decrepit Birth.
I mean, we love Bill. We're not saying anything bad. We love Bill. But
I thought he was kidding, but no. So what?
I have tears in my eyes right now. That was gold, dude.
Well, nowadays,
funniest thing ever.
Everyone's like part of these group texts. So
I know exactly what he was complaining about. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bill's in a group text.
Yeah, I hate
Bill's.
That makes it so much better that he was being serious.
That was serious.
Yeah. No. I knew it was serious right away.
Really?
Oh yeah. God.
I was like, oh, dude, he's getting.
I'm all like laughing at him and shit.
I knew. I was like, dude, the whole time.
I was just laughing.
I'm so glad he didn't hear me, dude.
Oh my god, I know. I just saw everyone's heads just drop. We'll start laughing. Oh my god, that's
my head was like this.
No, I was
like flavor.
I was like, oh, Bill's super interested in the show, and he's calling in to ask Diego.
I was like, wait, we're not live yet. We're gonna try and make this live, but we're not capable yet.
Oh god, it's too funny, dude.
That was really good, dude.
That's classic.
All right,
Bill.
dude. So Diego, so what's going on, bro?
Yeah,
we're just hanging out, man.
Oh, he's coming. It was an intermission, dude. That's what it was.
God, we're all like crying.
A great intermission,
right?
dude. No, I really, I'm glad.
Yeah, he's back.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Dude, that
I'm
was
so glad.
Where did the Riff Wizard name come from?
Yo, Robinson.
He's some pissed off.
And I mean, it kind of looks like you, dude. Just different hair, dude.
Yeah, it's a blonde version.
Willie Robbie.
That was so funny. Yeah, he was really pissed. That's pretty funny. So anyway,
yeah. The question, what'd you say?
On and on and on.
The Riff Wizard. Where did the Riff Wizard come from?
Riff Wizard from Asia. I can't remember if it's Indonesia or Thailand. I'm so sorry, my brothers.
But, stand up a little. Stand up just a second.
How did the
this
name?
is my customized fucking hoodie that I made for myself.
Dope.
Oh yeah. That's sick.
That's pretty sick, dude.
Riff Wizard. A little fucking chicken brown cow.
It's got a little wiener.
No, it's a big wiener, bro. Don't get it straight.
Nice stem, bro.
Right now, no fucking. I'm not endorsed by Nike over here. Oh.
Shit. Should we jump back to some questions, or what should we do?
Yeah, let's do some fucking questions, dude.
I got a question ready to go, bro.
Let's do
it.
Ready to go, bro.
What are some of your favorite bands these days? From Austin Spence. I should have asked a longer question.
I know, sorry.
I'm actually trying to ask shorter questions. I notice I ramble my questions, but
you know what? To be honest with you, what I've been bumping lately is Xenomorphic from Cephalic, that last Supremia EP, and Diminish. Jammed some Decrepit the other day.
Sick.
Checked out a lot of TVV stuff on YouTube with Joseph and I, and that original tune I wrote with Scott, and just jazz. I'm always in my truck. I'm always bumping jazz, or at the job site, bumping country from.
What kind of jazz, bro? I mean, the reason why
smooth, all styles really. Like it's
I've been so into fucking Charlie Hunter Trio ever since the Severed podcast, dude.
Dude.
I found that Charlie Hunter Trio 93 self-titled or whatever it is.
Right.
Dude, I can't stop listening to that at work, dude. It just fucking keeps going, and I'm just like, yeah, dude, this is my soundtrack now.
It's perfect. Nice. Just kind of zone out on.
Jazz,
and it's like acceptable for everybody, because I told you guys that story about when I was playing Disgorge at work. My 61-year-old coworker walks by. It's fucking brutal, dude. He's like,
that was so rad, bro. That's brutal.
Pretty fucking brutal, right? And he's like, you ever heard of Koala and Heat?
Koala.
I was like, no, but now I want to go check that out and compare it to Maddie.
It sounds pretty brutal.
No, I was listening to Consume, so I want to compare it to AJ.
Yeah.
Someone's got to make a video, find a koala video, and then put the vocals over it.
It's probably the tail off of Consume the Forsaken
and Heat, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know the howler monkeys sound similar, but I never heard a koala in Heat, dude.
No. Well, if you hear a dog in Heat or a cat,
this is actually probably something I should have told Casey and. But either way, yeah.
I got cut. I couldn't hear.
Were you trying to find it?
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not pulling up a koala right now. No, I'm not doing that.
Not during this episode, anyways.
Just want to roll the credits. We'll do a koala and Heat.
That might take you to
Axl Rose, and I'm out.
Google.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally.
What?
Oh, it's just a question. Guys for bringing up consuming.
Oh, yeah.
I was blasting consuming today in my car, like and like the last couple of days, listening to it again and stuff, and a few times, man. I listened to like all the albums like 2 or 3 times, and it's like it's so good, man. All of them are so. I can't decide which one's my favorite. Like they're all so good. To me, they're all like just as good. They're like equal. I don't know. I can't favor one, but consuming's like so insanely punchy and his vocal style is so like commanding and choppy and rhythmic and like in a great fucking awesome way.
Yeah, AJ actually, he's the one that wrote the intro. He mouthed off the intro to Rick and I. He's all
oh,
so
sick.
Like, what?
Okay,
so then we came in on that. But
cool.
A fun fact is that album, which I'm sure other bands have done also, we always, for the title track, you want it to be kind of like the best one in a sense, so we actually, there was Indulging was Consume the Forsaken, Demise was Consume the Forsaken, and track 5 was Consume the Forsaken also. And then finally when we wrote Consume towards the end, I think that was like the second or third of the last track. For some reason, that song just sounds more produced or edited or tighter or whatever. And honestly, we did that whole album just straight through.
The riffs on that song, bro. I was going to say that I totally agree with you. That's probably my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, it's got all elements, and it sounds the tightest.
Dude, yeah, it's what we were talking about, dude. The permanent stink face, dude. I have that the whole song.
I feel like, hell yeah, that's a good point. We were talking about that earlier. We were texting about that, laughing about the stink face thing.
Yeah,
but I feel like also that AJ comes in like not early, like earlier on like a lot of songs, like just like right away, like it's just whoa off the bat. Like, damn, it's like multiple songs, just like no fucking around. Like
he gets the build up before he starts fucking, before he starts fucking chopping it up, dude. You're just like,
and it's cool like with AJ, like because like I mean we love Deprecated too. We've talked about, of course, Deprecated, and that's of course where I heard him first and everything. And we had that. We had that recording back in high school, but anyways, like his vocals are so versatile, like on your album, like it's like so fucking good.
For sure. Like, well, he's got so much breathing room, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then but he holds out these like he changes his voice into this like I can't do it, I can't growl or anything. But he'll like change the timbre of his voice and really cool ways.
You kind of can see the roots of that in Deprecated though too.
For sure.
He had somewhat of a range, already at that time.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
Dude. It was just a different style. And but I think it's really cool that he came into like all the projects that he does. He just like comes into it like as AJ, but he like makes it like different than the other shit he's done. You know what I mean? Like it's like it doesn't sound like Deprecated when he's doing Disgorge.
Yeah.
But it's like
even like when he did Defeat of Sanity,
cool.
dude, it didn't sound like Disgorge.
Right.
Like him and Lily were sitting there writing that shit together, and it's just he's like AJ's he's well rounded too,
Super talented.
He'll sit there, he fucking vocals, drums, guitar, whatever. He'll give you some song.
Dude, that was funny at the studio when you guys real quick at the studio when you guys jammed and he didn't recognize me. And like we were like, you guys were all jamming, and then like I was like, oh, man, cool. Like, and he was all like kind of like, yeah. And then like at the end, he's like, oh, that's Casey. Like didn't because
Oh yeah.
I like thought he recognized.
I've only had a rare
bunch of times.
Couple of times that I kicked it with him. Very cool dude though. Every time that I kicked it with him.
Yeah.
I think it was only 1 or 2 times with Brick by Brick.
Yep.
Maybe the same night. Yeah, no, for sure. It was the same night that I was too young to even be in the place.
Me too, dude.
Oh yeah, you had to go outside.
We played brick by brick, and Ivan and my bass player Danny Bohegan at the time in Carnivorous had snuck in, and they got in, and I got fucking caught at the door, and I had no excuse. And I was like,
dude, off stage, right? They walked you off stage.
performing tonight. I'm performing tonight, so I worked a deal with them to where they let me come in, do my set, and then they'd escort me off. You know,
I remember that.
And
you yelled "fuck security" as you're.
Oh yeah, I was a 20-year-old kid like fuck security. There's like 35
guys will just murder you.
Like, yeah, fuck security, dude. Take me off. And and then hung out in the back alley with AJ.
So Ivan actually did a move where he had someone talk to the security guard, and he came over to the. He came over and he flipped over the freaking
like a chupacabra fence.
Yeah, he flipped over it, just ran in like when the guy
just like a chupacabra would get into a building.
I couldn't
see it all
exactly like a chupacabra / mongoose would get into a building.
Yeah.
Or a snarflat.
Snarflats
are gnarly too. You gotta watch out for those guys.
Ah, shit.
But yeah, dude. All right, so now are we even like up to current? Okay, so currently you had your Disgorge resurgence, you did the shows, and you did some shows with Severed during that time and stuff. Now you guys are just at TVV right now. That's what you guys are currently working with.
Yeah, so it's me and Diego, and we were supposed to play a bunch of shows this year. This summer we were supposed to play East Coast, and then we were also supposed to do Asia in August.
Yeah, and that shit obviously was supposed to be a big year for you guys.
And
dude.
And our next show that we're scheduled for is Las Vegas in March. I think.
Yeah, Slaughterfest.
Sin City Slaughterfest.
Yep. Big Mike and Roger.
Yeah. Same guys who did Las Vegas Death Fest, right?
Yeah.
Oh geez.
Or one half or whatever.
It's Mike, part of the team.
There's only one Roger in death metal, dude. It's Roger.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lindsay Mortician and a fucking
dude.
project, which I'm too late right now. Sorry, bro.
But then there's like we could ask like Riff Wizard, your solo, like anything.
Oh yeah.
What's
Chronicles?
Chronicles
of the Riff Wizard.
It's
like I have so much fun in daily life, just at work and playing around, and the access that we have these days, like in things like this, we could be ourselves, and in early days you try to start off as being in a death metal band, you want to be brutal and serious, and some bands are corny, but most times you want to try to represent yourself a certain way. And the Chronicles initially was gonna be any project I had been in or written or been a part of, like even Pathology, when Maddie brought me on to do that MTV video, fucking Tim and Dave were like, all right, fine. You want to bring Diego in on a video? That'd be cool. Have another musician in on the video. And Maddie was like, Diego, let's be a part of MTV. Let's fucking do it. And I was like, fuck, all right, let's do it. So being restricted, like when Joseph goes to school, he's going to be a doctor. I can't tell him, what do you mean you're going to go to school? We got this fest booked right now.
Diego, I'm actually done with school, just to let you know.
Oh, so open game, bro.
Graduated.
He's not only done with school, he's a lecturer now, dude.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just teaching, at this point.
Okay,
so
awesome.
UCSC, right, bro?
Yeah,
good deal.
Shout out to my students.
Yeah.
Anna Slugs.
Anyone watching?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do your homework. You fuck.
Right back at you, bro.
Yeah,
right back at you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
just don't text Bill.
Because Chronicles is basically.
Wait, is Bill freaking out again?
No, I said just don't text Bill. Trevor just came in just to show me a big old paragraph that he got from Bill.
Oh no.
Yeah,
because I'm not in that text.
Back, dude. You're asleep, Trevor.
It's an
Trevor,
old phone number. I know.
We are not on the road right now. Don't keep bitching at me texting right now. So Chronicles is basically just gonna be. I've been listening to jazz my whole life growing up, and I always admired musicians being able to get together and record, which was either it cost you a lot of money back in the day, or you were not able to because distance or anything. Now everything's so accessible that from playing music live and traveling for so long, we have everything at our fingertips right now. You know, if I wanted to call fucking Anthony for some vocals, or Joe for vocals, or bass, or fucking you and Case, you know, Joseph and KC for any other instrument or whatever, you know, it's like I could just be like, hey, let's get together, write a song real quick, boom. You know,
It's pretty wild how easy it is now, dude.
So in order to have, like, initially I told Ben about a legacy because I've got my grandfather's tapes, dude, from like the 30s and 40s. You know what I mean? Like old music, bro. That's cool. On tape. That you're lucky if you have anything like that, and if you can transfer it digitally without it getting damaged or something. So now, and where we are, I've always wanted to be able to take my daughters like on the road, just to be able to travel the world, because I never got to at a young age. You know, one of my stepdads was like, boom, we're going camping, we're going shooting, we're going hunting, we're going, you know, fishing, we're doing all these things, you know. And it's like, once I started traveling the world as opposed to just the States, I've only been able to travel the world playing music that nobody liked, because it was underground, and you go in the airport and people are walking away from you because of what t-shirt you're wearing. And I was like in 4th grade wearing Metallica Metal Up Your Ass. You know, it had the Ride the Lightning on the front, and in the back it had the glow in the dark dude in the electric chair, and it said "Metal Up Your Ass," you know. And and I wore it to school, and my mom got called, and your son's wearing this shirt, and you know, and I asked her that morning, can I wear this shirt to school? She was like, it's only art, but I showed her the, you know, the front as opposed to the back. And so
hey Diego, I think your mic got turned a little bit, buddy. So, I think just go back. Your mic sounded yeah. Check. All right. Continue, sir.
So just in regards to, like, you know, traveling when underground music wasn't accepted, just like skateboarding, you know, it wasn't accepted back in the days. I had to go to City Hall and fight to skate downtown in my own city in the early 90s, before there was skate parks and everything else, because we used to get cited for skating downtown after 5 o'clock in the evening, you know, from waxing curbs. And of course you're defacing and damaging city and public property, but you're just a kid skating, you know what I mean? So nowadays, you know, it's like the 70s with the Sex Pistols and punk and Misfits, Agnostic Front, all that kind of stuff. It's like thrash came in, thrash and speed, then death metal came in, and then brutal death metal and gore and everything. And then you got bands like, you know, the Faceless, and you know, just next thing you know, it just blew up after that, and everybody's got everything at their fingertips right now. So Chronicles is basically, I get together with so many friends and just have fun little free jams, and luckily Joseph and KC got stuff documented, and I've only got one track really recorded with Charlie Cornyn, who's been playing drums for Incantation lately. You know, Ed, you know, just fucking remixed and did the drums and guitars for us, and I sang vocals on it. And I basically, Chronicles is just the chronicles of myself and my life in regards to just music, you know, jamming out with random musicians and friends and having it documented. And I've been kind of on the verge of, since you guys started the podcast, of doing like a Chronicles of the Riff Wizard, of just getting together with different friends and actually, instead of just hanging out, you know, and actually documenting like us hanging out. And it's a legacy, like you guys, for California. You know, nobody's, besides for like Cali Murder Fest, Cali Death Fest, you know, Bay Area Death Fest, like those are trademarks in the scene. And you guys doing like a Cali Death Fest podcast, like different people have tried to do it, but it's not California as a whole.
Yeah, dude. You know? So what? So I mean, just to branch off of what you just said, like, I mean, yeah, we're starting in, I mean, I said it in the beginning, like we're starting in California because this is where we're rooted, you know, and we're going to
all know each other
because, yeah, we all know each other very well, dude. I mean, several years, you know, but we've also made friends outside of California. So eventually we're going to have other California or outside of California musicians on here and stuff too. But yeah, it's just, you got the chronicles. That's what you're saying. You're like trying to document everything. It's like, we have so many conversations with everybody. There's been so many years of these conversations. Like everybody's told each other their story multiple times, like, and we all respect each other and are proud of each other. Like, that's what we want to do. We want this just to be archived and for other people to see it, you know. And you're saying that the Chronicles of the Riff Wizard, well, you want to archive like the moments of time where you've been in a free space with other musicians who are also in a free space, that you actually just start in the moment and go and see what happens.
Exactly.
And you want to, like, those happen so many times and we've never hit record.
Exactly. Now we have it at our.
That's what it is.
Our phones, a finger. Nobody's critical. Back in the day, remember?
There is so
you had a demo. It was a little rough. Somebody, these guys sound like shit. I ain't listening to this. Boom, out the window it was, or it was a coaster. Yeah,
where you have a fucking blast, and you're like, that's lost. That's lost to the ethers. It's just dissolved into the universe. It's never gonna.
Nowadays, GarageBand is like fucking the warehouse for Sam Goody, and you can do it. So and I want to be a part of so many projects and ideas. And
I want to be a part of that too, dude. I want to be on the Chronicles, dude. So can get on the Chronicles, dude.
Anthony, I just don't know if your vocals would sound good over Diego's riffs. I just think that's a really far stretch. It just wouldn't. I can't imagine it sounding good.
Learn how to play
bong loads. Just massive bong loads before I do it.
Yeah, I know, right?
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, dude. No, for sure, dude. Like, I was already having fun with what you guys were just showing us in this video, this podcast today. We could totally fucking have fun with that, dude.
Oh yeah, for
sure. And Joseph, what would you say that was 6 years? No, that wasn't 6 years ago, was it?
What?
That video?
Which video? The gender reveal?
The one the gender reveal.
6 years ago.
6 weeks
ago.
Okay,
6 weeks
so
ago.
I misheard somebody. I'm sorry. At that time, somebody had said 6 years ago.
That was 6 weeks ago, bro.
Oh, 6 weeks. Hey, it's archived, guys. We're gonna hear 6 years earlier. All right, just so you know.
That's all good, dude.
No, whatever. But so yeah, dude, more of that, and I want to drop it into Ableton. Fuck around on some vocals. Yeah. Let's have some fun with it, dude. And videos would be cool. I could totally I don't know, just explain where you guys are at.
Yeah. Well, in regards to the podcast theme, like in the Cali Death thing, like kind of way I've been thinking about it is if you talked about death metal to or extreme metal to anybody outside of the scene or anyone who's a fan, it's like they know about Florida because they've heard about Morbid Angel and Cannibal Corpse after they moved, and then they know about Norway and the church burnings, and that's what people know about. And if you want to start building that story, what's the next step? California is part of the story because of all the bands we've brought on already, especially Deeds of Flesh.
After New York, I think it went for myself, it was Florida, New York, and then Cali, and then the South kind of.
Fair enough, and we should explore New York, and one thing we talk about a lot is how Suffocation is probably the most influential band.
Very influential for
California. But yeah, so then if as soon as you start to tell the story a little further, you got to bring in Eric and Unique Leader and how they started an international scene. And I think one of the threads that we're building is how Disgorge was the first band to go to Asia, first brutal death metal band. And it's that says a lot, because it says in the time that you guys were around, death metal became a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah.
And California was ready to export it at that time.
Dude,
it just blew up in 10 years or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think of it as part of the legacy, and so yeah. And then anyway, Diego, you're like the avatar wizard of it all. You're larger than life. Your riffs are everyone fucking no one can play your riffs. Everyone wishes they could. You still set the fucking benchmark for the whole thing.
I see the tributes and the the dudes that Disgorge cover fucking guy, and I'm like, dude, it sounds really, 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 really good. I don't know if we're tuned the same way or what, but you're really close. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude? Well, here's another quick one from 6 years ago, real fast. I just wanted
6 years or 6 months.
6 years.
Yeah.
So this is the style we're talking about, how they're
Yeah. Joseph, TVV, baby.
I'm jamming at my friend's brewery, so we had to wear masks.
Yeah. Insurance purposes.
There he is. Yeah, right. He just asked us to, so we respected him.
Is this freeform stuff? Just freestyle?
No, this
is Revelation.
Revelation.
Oh, Revelation. That's right. That's right.
You can't see his
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, they totally just freestyle this.
Yeah, they just
flawless.
freestyle.
I mean, I would be. I would
like-
not be surprised if they freestyled.
Yeah, pretty good, yeah. It's my Marshall 9200 power amp right there, 100
Oh,
watts
nice.
each side. Old school BBE, which I learned after Suppo.
Sounds fucking great.
Yeah.
I was just my new camera or my new phone sounds pretty. It has a compression on it. It's like the iPhone 11 or whatever.
Yeah, it
like
sounds good.
Dude, you can hear everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh shit, fuck yeah.
It's a cool shirt, too.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just need some vocals going along. Yeah. This was like the first jam you guys did for like. It's my old drum set. It's funny. Just part of it. Joseph's just killing it.
Hell yeah.
Like, it's fun watching you guys. I'm just like, yeah.
I know. It's got the same essence, dude, you know?
Yeah.
Like
It's getting me pumped right now, dude.
yeah. It's missing Ricky, but it still has the Disgorge sound, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, dude. It's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I don't want to play the whole thing. I don't know if I'm going to
Keep it alive, dude.
Yeah.
Keep
Copyright
it
something. I
alive.
don't even
Alright.
know how that works with live stuff. But anyways.
Two more fan questions. My homie Rob Cook from fucking Wisconsin went to
Yeah.
college with this dude. Shout out. We
Wisconsin, what's
fucking
up?
used to smoke weed and listen to Suffocation
Where the
a
cheese
lot.
at?
And he asked, what do you think about the new BC Rich guitars?
Haven't played them.
That's what I was thinking. I want to give him a
I've been
shout
playing.
out.
I've been playing the same one since 2002. Been playing the same. Actually,
Beast.
Fuck the Commerce was my first show with my Beast, and I actually hit my nose like third song in, boom, because I went down to slam, and it's before that I played my BC Rich bitch, and the body's way smaller, you know, up top, and I went to slam, dude, and cracked my nose, and I was like, oh, you know, I was like, that wasn't very good, but that was the first tour, and I've been playing it ever since then, and I'm not the richest guy on the planet, and the guitar sounds good and plays good, so unless somebody wants to throw in my way, that's what I'll be playing for a while.
For sure. All right,
With some
next
EMG
question.
81s. Yeah,
If you could form a super group within death metal and pick all the other members, who would you choose?
Oh, jeez, dude. That's
Good
just
question.
Yeah. It all depends on
I like it.
who I'm capable to play with.
Come on.
You know?
That's
It's not like after this
out.
podcast, they're going to be standing out front like,
Yeah.
dude, let's jam right now.
You know what, dude? It'd probably be Steve Tucker on vocals.
Dope.
Cause that dude, like, if he needs to get guttural, he can do it. But just his energy, he's fucking super pissed, dude. And doing Morbid and Warbringer, he's, you know, you can see the flavor he's got. And I haven't partied with him, but I met him a couple times, and he was just a real sick dude, and he's just killing it, you know. And I think Casey Howard would be the drummer behind that, doing, you know, killing it with that. And
I'd pick Casey for sure.
yeah, Casey's got some flavor, man. He needs to bring it
I'll
up.
pick Casey too.
Oh, shucks. Well, thank you. That'd be fun.
Hell yeah. And then oh man, bass players. That's a mess right there. Pigeon is a monster, you know, and then Ollie from Cryptopsy.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
But with that's the bonus of my Strangulation project. I'm gonna have as a tribute to Ben, because there's Strangulation, like a lot of the songs that we had or parts we took from the Strangulation stuff and put it towards the Chile Gutted stuff. I'm actually gonna eventually release like a Strangulation album, but with different bass players, those who have come in contact with Ben and met him, And in my way, it's going to be a tribute to Ben by having a different bass player on every track, and then being able to just share the love of being able to do what we can do now.
Yeah.
You know, we've got everything at our fingertips, get people to join in and share the love to songs that are already written. And, you know, it's kind of tough, man, when you already have a project in mind that's already written and you want to share it with other people because you want to give them an ability to add their flavor to it. But at the same time, you kind of want it to keep like its own deal. You know, because a lot of music back in the day was ahead of its time, but if you had a shitty recording, it wasn't gonna sound good like at all. You know, and nowadays with everybody being older and just wanting to play music, like honestly, I think before it was work for a lot of us, and it was striving to do this or do that, and now we're at a place where, you know, you play your instrument a couple days a week and you're still a shredder, as opposed to, oh man, tomorrow's going to sound even sicker. You know, I wish I was still that guy, but unfortunately that's not, you know, I want to raise my daughter better tomorrow as opposed to be a better guitar player tomorrow now, you know, but, it's like, I think just being able to get together with bros and write music and that super band, you know, it'd be
balance of being a dad and a death metal musician,
and playing guitars, dude.
That is
like tablature's way more involved, dude, playing guitar as opposed to just tabbing out for bass. You know, you gotta tab out all kind of stuff, or discipline yourself to get together online like we're doing now and be like, okay, how's that riff go? Which is actually back when you're kids, you know, getting together after school and being like, oh, hey, all right, remember that section we did yesterday? You know, here we go.
I think the key is to get like excited about band practice. Like we used to be like, right on, dude. We're going to jam tonight. Like, all right, we're going to see everyone. Like, and then, you know, especially, my mic fell. Especially like when we, like when Anthony and I were talking, we would cruise down from SF and drive, you know, 70 miles to come down and practice. And then
we would
everyone.
Yap.
Yeah, dude, it was so cool. But I mean, just any times, man, you know how it is. It's like when you got a regular thing going, it's like, it's super sick. Like, just to do that and have a, you know,
dude.
So that's why
it was like I had to be like super excited to get down there, and then you get there, everybody sets up, and then you're like, oh yeah, we hit that fucking spot, we're in the zone, so it was all worth it, you know. And then it's oh, we're gonna kick it for a little bit and ride that high for a little bit, and then drive back home and get back to fucking normal life the next day, dude.
Yep, back to work and while at school and whatever bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it was just, and I think that's the thing. And so like we've started kind of doing like a Wednesday jam thing, and we're probably going to pick that back up again whenever you guys want to do it. But like at my friend's brewery, that where those videos were taken at Oceanside Brewing Company, my old good friend is the owner of the place, and so he's been gracious enough to let us, you know, jam there and stuff lately, and it's really cool. And so I've got like some old equipment there, my old drum set, all that kind of stuff. We can just show up and just kind of rock out, and no one else is there, and it's super chill. So yeah, man, like I think that's really fun, and like Joseph and Diego jam a lot, so I'm down to come meet with you guys, and we can do stuff and everything. And
when we've got a show booked, fucking Joseph and I get together and we be sure at least the backbone gets together before we get, you know, like right now we got AJ singing and Diego Soria on bass. Rad. And we got Vegas March 5th, I think. 4th or 5th or something.
I'm thinking it's going to go through, but that'd be cool, man.
Yeah, it's depending on Corona.
You all wear your masks and be good. And we'll play for you.
No moshing.
We'll see how it goes, man. It'll be a bummer if you can't.
Shout out to band practice. I actually have a practice tomorrow.
Oh yeah, nice.
There you go.
With my friend Chris Beatty. Shout out to his project Dreamer. Check out Dreamer Metal on Bandcamp.
There you go.
Super sick project. We're doing our first. I like loaded my acoustic drums into my car for the first time, and since probably fucking Death Fest with you. Or Extermination, dude. Like I haven't played it in so long.
From that video that I put on, that was
that earlier video.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought.
So I actually didn't even play my drums there, so it was like rehearsing for that. Yeah. But I'm like
your Pearl set.
I'm in that feeling where you like load your own drums into your own car to go play, and this project is super awesome. I'm super stoked on it. So yeah, I'm like in that. The feeling you're talking about of like having band practice coming up, I've been stoked all week for it. So,
hell yeah! Congrats!
Yeah,
you got some YouTube stuff on Dreamer.
Well, we're gonna start it tomorrow. Like
There you
we'll
go.
probably live stream it because that's the future is now, and we just. I'm not
Nice.
gonna take 2 hours of video. I'll just live stream it and then have the video saved. You know.
Yeah. Awesome.
So fucking
Nice.
tune in. I'll probably post some shit.
Awesome.
But Diego, maybe we
Cool.
should talk about how fun it's been to have you on and how
Yeah, dude.
fucking
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
awesome of a night
We
this
all
was.
love Diego.
Yeah.
Happy to
Thank
have
you
on.
guys.
Most definitely.
Yeah, man, it's an honor.
Oh, yeah.
Super cool.
And,
I'm
you
sure
know,
Diego,
and-
if Diego broke his foot, he would have that same smile. He's just always
No, no.
smiling, dude.
What did you
I
say?
know.
What did you say earlier? You were like, for somebody who smiles as much as you do, you have like the
Your music
opposite of
is
a
the
smile
opposite.
through me.
Yeah.
Produces the
Yeah.
opposite of a smile when you
yeah.
That was awesome.
Because that's what I was saying. The stink face is totally opposite
No,
smile.
it's a
like-
snarl, dude. It's not
Wait,
just
no,
a
no.
face. It's a snarl.
Yeah.
And you got to concentrate on the rhythm. You're like, just jamming. They're all.
Yeah.
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 Everybody's
man.
got their
Totally,
little
dude.
snarl going on.
And
been sick.
and we've been talking about it for like the last couple of weeks, like to give you a little insight of like the conversations that Casey and I and Joseph and Joel have. It's like we kind of didn't really have like a set goal on what we wanted to do, but we're like, you know what, the roots of California death metal, we got to try and make that like the first whatever amount of episodes, and we're like,
Oh, yeah.
well, just
Then we can branch
accidentally, like, well, not really accidentally, but just like organically got Deeds on the first episode, and then Decrepit was ready, and then Sever was ready, and now we got you. It's like that's I think we're good with that as a core
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good
4
it's like, who do-
episodes.
Yeah,
And now we
yeah.
can branch out with this. Like
Yep.
now it doesn't necessarily need to be from back in the day,
Like the
or
OGs or
now
whatever,
I mean we definitely will have OGs still, but I'm just saying, like, we like the way that this is going. We're not trying to follow too much of a structure on how we're gonna get this going, but we got some good stuff in the works, and we're excited about it,
Yeah.
and I think next week we're gonna have Archaic. We're gonna have a couple
Sorry, got
guys.
serious for a
We're
while.
gonna have
We're
Jared
confirming
and
Archaic
Chance.
for next week. All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
Jared from Archaic?
Jared
Yeah.
and Chance. We're gonna take it
What?
back
Those
to the
dudes are
beginning.
sick,
Yeah,
dude.
dude. The couple guys
Same
from
thing.
the beginning.
Same thing.
And,
Those dudes were kids, man, and they were just
Yep.
killed.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
they're so sick.
That's kind of like what. So now we've got the
awesome.
core. Now we're gonna touch on, the
That's a
second
different part of
wave,
Cali,
I
too,
guess
man.
you want to call
Generation.
it. I don't know if however you want to call it. It's definitely a younger generation that came out of that. So it's gonna be really cool to see how
Definitely.
those guys came up, and we're close friends with them as well, so we know where they are currently. So it's gonna be nice to just go through that whole process, and then dude, we're just gonna keep on going. We got some heavy hitters already
Yeah.
in the works and
We
ready to
also-
go, dude.
Want to thank all the fans for like commenting, good feedback, positive
Yeah,
feedback. Everything's been
Yeah.
outstanding and positive.
and we haven't really addressed that, dude. I was thinking about that. We definitely should address it. Like it's really cool how like it's grown just in the 5 weeks or so we've been doing this. We've already got something like 220 subscribers the last time I saw, from 0 5 weeks ago. We just like are doing this just to do it, and then people are jumping on. Like it's just working out nice, and all we're doing is just talking. We're talking to our homies, and we want everybody else to hear
Be a
these
part of
stories.
it.
So that's super cool.
Yeah.
Everybody
if you-
feel like they're a homie, sharing the stories.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
read all,
dude.
we
Yeah,
read all the
totally.
comments. We love all the feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely we do. Yeah.
Keep them coming.
And
Maybe-
people are always wanting more music because they love your riffs, because you're the wizard with the riffs.
Yeah,
Keep on. We
Sometimes.
gotta make new
Sometimes.
stuff. We gotta make some new stuff too.
Give a little,
know.
just
but all
give it a
that,
little- give it a little carrot, like maybe. Just say a maybe.
little
Next
carrot, like a
Wednesday.
song,
Working
maybe
on
just a
something.
new song or something.
Yeah.
We should
Next
just write a
Wednesday.
song or get some.
Next
or you and
Wednesday?
Joseph
Alright, cool.
should-
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should write a new song and call it the Dangling
Awesome.
Carrot or something.
I'll tell you, I try to write on guitar music for Diego to play, and I can't write stuff worthy of it yet. Like I'll play the
feel.
drums, but when I
Right,
try, it's like, dude, I don't know, man.
I
It's
could write it on Guitar Pro. That's about it. I can't play it.
Speaking of archive, I'm going to hold you guys to this right now. We're going to work on an intro. I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to be written by us, correct?
oh, an intro song.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude. We're going to leave it right here on this podcast. I'm going to call you guys out. We're writing a
yeah.
song for the intro to
Good.
this.
I
Okay,
think that was
a
my
little-
idea, first of
little
all.
diddle.
so
I know,
Oh,
no.
I'm down before even. Yeah.
It's got to be
I'm
all
not
sex.
saying that was my idea. I'm just saying
All right.
I'm backing that and I'm holding everybody to it by archiving it on YouTube right now.
So we got four
Fuck.
bass. So we got
It's
four
gonna
bass
sound like the
players
Beach
and a
Boys.
vocalist.
Sound like what?
The Beach Boys
Yeah, we'll just doo-wop it.
with like
We
growls.
should, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we should do.
Cali death.
Like harmonized
need auto-tune.
barbershop vocals with like growls underneath.
Yeah.
Dude, you and Joel,
Dude,
come,
I've never heard that before. I don't know, right? It's a new thing.
you and Joel
Anyways.
come down for a weekend, dude, and we get together
Yeah.
on a jam and just
Yeah.
write something real quick. And
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. I'm down.
Joseph and
dude,
Casey will figure out what they're gonna play.
Cali Death
I'm playing
podcast
guitar, I think.
intro featuring Diego on a quick little 10, 11, 10, 14, 10, 11, 10
Yeah,
solo.
Fran.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, it's been
Yeah.
a great fucking time, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had a
Happy
really
to
good
have you
time
on,
with this,
Diego.
dude.
Thank you,
Fuck
guys.
yeah. Thanks for
We-
coming on,
I-
dude.
I
It's
have
We
a
awesome.
will
feeling
have-
that there's going to be
A
part
pleasure.
twos for all
Oh,
these guys.
That's
so.
what I was gonna
yeah.
say, man. There's
Yeah.
obviously gonna be part 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Of
it
bringing
doesn't-
other
this isn't
people
the last
on.
time.
You know,
This
yeah,
isn't
we
the
just
last time.
we wanted to get the original story,
Yeah.
So
Fuck
The
yeah.
initial.
Yeah.
Oh,
too
yeah.
bad. Too bad it
Thanks.
was more fun than business for some people, but we took care of it.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah. Thanks
Awesome.
again
Oh,
for
yeah.
coming on, dude.
All right, bros.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
man.
guys. Thanks again, dude.
All right, guys, and
later.
check out next week. Like I said, Archaic. We're gonna try and keep this one going for every week. So yeah, keep looking out for it.
Rock
Oh, yeah.
out with your cock out. Oh.
Yeah. Clam